Shalom, family. I'm up extra early. I got up extra early today, and there's a lot going on, and maybe one day I will explain it all to you. Um, but it's nothing for you to really concern yourself over. Um, but I'm going to talk to you today about a video that I found on TikTok. And this video is true. And you'll see what I mean. And I'm going to really talk a lot on this Once the video is done playing, I'm not going to tell you what it is because I want you to really focus on what's being said on this video. And you'll understand why the title of this live stream is called 7%. All right. So let me share my screen and let's take it from there, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if I can do this one. Now, let me ask you, can you see? Hold on. Let's put this up. All right, I don't want to do that. Let me stop sharing here for a second. Hold on 1 second. I might have to do this another way.
World's population is white. 63.
All right, I'm going to start this over. All right, I'm sorry it looks the way that it does, but I just want you to listen to what's said. First of all, can everybody see the screen? Can you see my screen? Please give me a 1 if you can. Thank you. Okay, let's get started.
51.
70.
40. 30 was 20. 70.
80.
24%. 70. 20. 30. 43. 24. 20. 30. 80%. Zero. What if I told you it was 7%?
7%?
7%.
Only 7%?
Yeah.
No
The
way.
whole world.
Your white people are like top of the world.
7%. 7? What? Seven to 8% is what? Hang on. That's not true. It's true. No, it's not. It's below 10%. Nah, it's both. Yeah.
Wait.
It's 7.
Shit. And I'm about to be a teacher.
so-
Don't learn from me, brother.
No, it's a real. It's below 10%. Some estimates put it 7 to 8%. What's this TikTok? I'll share. Ozbill. Yeah, Oz.
3 million Tainos in the Caribbean, 33 million Incas in South America, 30 million Aztecs.
Okay. Let me take stage. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, white people are 7% of the entire global population. Now, you may ask yourself, why do they look so big in America? I'm going to explain to you why they appear bigger than what they really truly are. The reason why the population looks big in America is because they have placed the brown people in the country in the white category. If you minus out all of the brown people that are placed in the white category, they would look like a speck up in here. And I'm telling you the truth. It's the Latinos, it's some Asians, it's East Indians, Arabs, It's all of the brown people in the country that they have placed in their category is the only reason why they look so big. Now, psychological warfare is the rest of it. If you put someone's face in front of you all the time, you will think they're bigger than and greater than what they really are. If you can see through the psychology of what's going on, you would know no, they couldn't be as big as they're claiming in America. They're not. They have played the propaganda tool as their biggest weapon worldwide. So if every day I put my pale face in front of you and I keep showing it to you over and over and over and over, you're going to think they're huge. It's a psychological game. You really think about it, if you're just 7% of the global population, just think about that. It's boy, what a big bamboozle that's going on, right? If you are just 7% of the global population, you shouldn't even have the manpower to stay at the top. It ain't enough of you. But as long as they got the entire globe on psychological lockdown, then yeah, then they can stay in charge. They're the minorities here too, y'all. I'm just telling you, the reason why they look so big in America is because all these brown people up in here are labeled as white. It's not for any other reason. It's not for any other reason. It's not no people from no damn Europe. It's not that at all. And look, I was reading in the Arab world, they're not, excuse me, I got the hiccups all of a sudden. In the Arab world, they're not even allowed to show you the Arabs that are melanated. Did you know that? They're not even allowed to be seen. So if you look at an Arab, you always look at that one that's light in complexion. And you have to ask yourself, well, where's all the dark ones? Because when you go back in the history, they were black people, right? But now when you look at them, you never see the dark ones, but they are there. They are there, but they're not allowed to be shown on any type of media. So they've been playing the propaganda mill worldwide. Everywhere they are, they make sure they're seen more than anyone else. So it gives the illusion that they are astronomical in numbers when they are just a few. That's what they have mastered, making themselves look great when they are actually just a few. And they've pulled it off all this time. All this time. Mm-hmm. Yep, there are Asians that are dark. There are Mexicans that are dark that you hardly ever see. And you can tell they heavily exclude those populations by the immigration process when they come over here. I think what they do, y'all, is tell each other, lighter shade ones tell each other, oh, we're going to leave and we're going to go across the border into America. But they exclude the darker shade Afro Latinos in the process. And I think that's why you never see them. When they make plans to form these caravans and come over here, they only do it among the light and bright Latinos. And the Afro Latinos, the reason why you don't see them is because they are completely excluded from the process. And that's the reason why. I think it's not that they don't want to come, they don't get included when they make their migration out of the country. They don't include those Afro Latinos. They don't include the Afro Mexicans and the Afro Colombians. They are completely excluded, y'all. You got to really do some deep thinking into why you are looking at things as they are. Right. And Miss Butterscotch, I think that's what your abbreviated name is. You're right. They're dying off too, which leads me to believe they are not even 7% of the population. If you think about their lack of births all over the globe, because their decline is global, I really believe it's under that 7%. I don't even think it's 7%. I think it's lower than 7% because they have not been reproducing anywhere on the planet. I'm just saying, y'all, they have not been reproducing anywhere on the planet. So if they are not reproducing anywhere on the planet, then I don't even think that 7% is accurate. It would have to be lower than that. Right. Yeah, son. That was what Biden was concerned about. If you go back to that Zoom call, what did he say? Oh, well, pretty soon you're going to have to go to the Latinos. That right there is telling you their numbers are only big because they are including brown people. Look at what he said. You'll have to go to the Latinos to get anything done. He's telling you you'll have to go to brown people if you want to get stuff done, which is the reason why I'm telling you the reason why their numbers look so big in America is because they have turned brown people into white people. That's why I'm telling you that. Joe Biden pretty much gave it away during that Zoom call. So that video came out on TikTok, and I can play it again. The video came out on TikTok, I believe back in October. But let me because I know some of you were not here when I played it originally. Let me see if I can get it back up and show it to you again. Let's see here. Let's see if I can get it on the screen this time around. So, I don't think you can see that. Hold on. Let's see if I can do this. Should be able to. Let me just look on my device here.
of the world's population is white? 63. 42. 51.
70.
40. 30 or 20? 70.
80.
24%. 70. 20, 30. 43. 24. 20. 30. 80%. Zero. What if I told you it was 7%?
7%?
7%.
Only 7%?
Yeah.
No
The
way.
whole world.
Your white people are like top of the world.
7%.
7.
What? Seven to 8% is what?
Hang on.
That's not true. It's true. No, it's not. It's below 10%. Nah, it's both. Yeah.
Wait.
It's 7.
Shit. And I'm about to be a teacher.
so-
Don't learn from me, brother.
No, it's a real. It's below 10%. Some estimates put it 7 to 8%. What's this 6 on? Ausbill. Yeah,
Okay. Okay. So 7% of the global population is white. And I think here in America, if you minus out the brown people that are counted as black, is probably 3% of the population here. That's what I'm thinking. The vast majority of them are here, maybe 3-4%, and then they're spread out in other parts of the world. But they are not what you think. It's like I said, if you can get past it, a psychological part, you really can see it for what it is. It's really not hard to figure out. Yeah, they know their population is declining. You can't say you are great in numbers and you're not reproducing. That doesn't even make any common sense. If you are not reproducing, you're not great in number. And if you were not great in number to begin with, then you surely wouldn't be great in number now in today's environment where you're not having babies. You would not be great. And if you remember historically, we outnumbered them during chattel slavery. That's why they started having this great migration over here from Europe into the country. They were piling all in here from Europe because if you remember, you can go back in the history books, the history that they have been trying to X out all this time and see even back then, they were not great in numbers and the slaves were having babies all over the place and were out reproducing them. They couldn't catch up back then. So what did they do? They opened up the floodgates, Ellis Island, and let them all pile up in here because they couldn't out reproduce our people even during chattel slavery. They couldn't even do it then. So what makes you think they can do it now? They can't. That's why they heavily rely on immigration. The same thing they relied on back in the day is what they heavily rely on now. Immigration. And when you listen to them talk, y'all, the Republicans ain't that upset over no immigration. They're not. Okay? Because I have watched the way they move. In many instances, they have been silent. When all of these people have been flooding across the gate, you didn't hear a lot of Republican politicians rise up against it. They stayed silent for the vast majority of the time when all of these South Americans start flooding in. It's the same tool they used back in the day to boost up the numbers. Is the same thing they are using today, which means their numbers technically never improved from reproducing. If you're following me on this, their numbers never improved from reproducing. It was poor even back during chattel slavery, and it's poor today. If people would just wake up and pay attention. Yeah, Republicans hire these illegals. Don't let them make you think they don't hire these folks. These immigrants are a rich man's dream. He knows he can pay them pennies on the dollar for all that back-breaking work that got to be done. They love these people being here because they can get away with paying them in many cases under minimum wage. They love them being here. Mhm. Yeah, I mean, if you wanna know who a lot of these immigrants are, just look at how they treat their Afro Latinos and Afro Arabs and Afro Caribbeans. Look at how they get treated opposed to the ones that are lighter shade. And you know that you are looking at Gentiles. These are Gentiles coming in here, even from Latin America. They are Gentiles. That's why you're just seeing the lighter shade ones. You're seeing the ones that are Gentiles. You're not seeing the ones that are our brothers and sisters. You're not seeing them at all. That's why they're coming over here with that black people are lazy. Y'all don't want to do nothing. You don't want to work. And we get ahead of you. Yeah, well, you get ahead because the government is backing the immigrant. The government don't back us. So yeah, it's easy to get ahead when you got a government with trillions of dollars backing you up. Of course you can. Of course you can get ahead. That's not rocket science at all. So, yeah, they've been playing these games for a long time. And unfortunately, there are many that believe the hype. But I instantly knew, even when I was younger, they could not be as big as they were claiming. Because when I go back and reflect on the time, and it's been quite some time since I've been in high school, but I remember walking through the hallways and you would see them, but you would see an equal amount or even more black children in the school. And you're talking about decades ago. And then when you go back and also look, and I remember even the children in the township, there were more melanated children than them. But they had psychologically back then made us think they were greater in numbers in the township that I was in, and we were much smaller. But from what I had eyeballed, that was not the case. And it's not the case now. Look, y'all, when I go in a store, the only ones I see walking around with small kids are black parents and brown parents. And usually, when I see white parents, they got teenagers or older with them. That's what I see. You don't see a lot of them with toddlers in the store. You may see a few here and there, but not like you should be seeing it. You should be seeing a lot of them with small toddlers. You don't see that. The ones you see with toddlers are black and brown women. And I see that all the time when I go out. If I see small children, that's usually the parents are usually melanated. So, yes, it on the surface, it looks one way. You just think about it. If I took us and put us on all the TV shows, all of the news stations, all of the magazine and print ads all up in the country, and you just saw us all the time consistently, you would start thinking we must be great in numbers. It's all about making you believe an illusion. And they have pretty much pulled it off all this time. Hmm. Shalom to everybody in the chat. Shalom. Yeah, you know, I think many of us have gotten to a place where we don't believe their hype anymore. And I think we have gotten there, but unfortunately, our brothers and sisters that are still sitting in Christianity, they haven't gotten a memo yet, y'all. They haven't. And we already know their pastors are not going to be the ones that will lead them to the truth. We already know pastors in America are not going to lead a living soul to the truth up in here, and they never will. So as long as they continue to linger around in Christianity, they have no chance of finding out the truth unless it is presented to them in such a way where it can't be denied. But just think about that. Giving them the benefit of the doubt is saying 7% of the global population, right? But I would think, in my opinion, because of the lack of reproduction, it's probably more like 5 or 4%. But that's my opinion. That's what I think it really truly is. You may think differently, but I think it's lower than 7, because these nations that are not reproducing, that they are dominating right now, have not been reproducing for decades now. So I really truly believe it's more like 4% of the global population. So I'm going to post the link, and feel free to come up and give me your thoughts on this TikTok videos telling them that they are 7% of the global population. And they seem to believe, because of propaganda, they are huge in America, but they actually aren't huge here at all. Yeah, I did the story on Italy when they didn't had no births, I think it was for a few weeks. There were no births, but Japan has topped them. Japan, when I did the story on Japan, Japan had not had a birth for like 3 months, and they probably went beyond that. Not one single birth in the country. But these Gentile nations, this is what's happening to them. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's all of Europe. It's all of Europe. It's Australia too. New Zealand, anywhere where you see them, the population is on a sharp decline. Well, at the end of the day, T bias, they don't want the East Indians either. They are just, anytime you see them with brown people, they're just using those folks. The Vivek Ramaswamis, they're just being used. That's all. That's why Ann Coulter sat in his face and told him pretty much he was brown and she would never vote for him because he was some brown Indian. And she told him the truth. She told him the truth. A truth, obviously, he didn't want to hear. Anytime you see them with brown people like that, they're just using them. Because unfortunately, these foreign groups that come over here, they will gladly go against us any day of the week. They will. They have always been that way. They have no problem grouping together and going against us because they're that easy. That's why they will gravitate towards those people and prop them up. And you're right. They are not really looking at the Latino. How many Latinos have Donald Trump picked for his cabinet? None. But remember, it was the Latino man that went out there and voted for Donald Trump in even bigger numbers than black men. Black men really was on the low end of voting for Donald Trump. It was way more Latino men that voted for Donald Trump. But then when you look at Donald Trump's cabinet picks, which some of them are in trouble, I don't know if y'all been following the news. Donald Trump's cabinet picks does not include one single Latino. He put a black man in HUD. That's really the only one he got, and that's really a token position, HUD. Okay, that's a token position right there. So, but as far as Latinos, the way the men went out there, you would think he would have picked a Latino man. He ain't put one Latino in there, and they went out there and wasted their vote on him. Know what I mean? That's what they did. They should see the end result as he really didn't. He didn't care about them. He got your vote, and now, hey, you're expendable. That's why he's talking about getting y'all out of the country. He got your vote. Now he's going to kick your behind the hell up on out of here. That's what he's doing. Yeah, Marco Rubio is Cuban. But these south of the border people that came over here from Venezuela and Colombia and all them places, he gonna get them the hell up on out of here. Because I know Chicago have been having problems with their gangs. You ain't gonna have that problem for long. Donald Trump starts snatching their butts out. That gang problem that you're having in Chicago will be over real soon. Shalom, Warzah. Yaz, how are you?
All right. Is the noise loud?
Not real loud.
Hold on. I'm in a truck.
Okay.
I just want to refer to the people to the Bible. 2 Kings chapter 5:27. There's a whole bloodline of white people come from Gehazi. A whole bloodline. 2 Kings chapter 5 verse 27. And then if you look at nature, all the albino animals are few in number.
That's true.
All of them is few, and hybrids have reproduction issues.
But you know what? I want to say something about that, y'all. A few days ago, I was out and about, and what he's saying is right. And I'm not making a comparison with animals, but what he is saying is right. I was out a few days ago, y'all, and I saw somebody walking an albino pit bull. And I thought it was so unusual. I was like, wow, what are the chances of seeing an albino pit bull? The pit bull was pure white, and he had bluish color eyes. And the person that was walking him said, oh, no, he's an albino pit bull. And I was like, wow. And in all reality, what you're saying is true. That was the only one I think I have ever seen in my lifetime. I'd never seen an albino pit bull until just a few days ago.
Yeah, I learned this from you. Our dark eyes help protect our eyes. Those light color eyes are recessive.
Our eyes got melanin, and that melanin in our brown eyes is what protects us. Yeah.
And the reason, I fight so hard because I used to hate myself, and I didn't know what it was. The first person I saw was a white doctor when I was born.
And you know that psychological warfare. Yeah, that psychological warfare has made many of our people hate themselves.
Yeah,
that's true.
I just wanted to just commend you on what you're doing and stuff. But yeah, y'all just don't believe nothing. If it's coming from them, just double check it. Well, it's a good habit to double check everything everybody do. But yeah, it's in the Bible. There's a blood, and then I got a cousin with vitiligo. What pastors understand don't.
Yes.
There's just multiple ways you can get them from us, but you ain't gonna get us from them.
Right. So, right. Exactly.
I don't want to take up your time. I just wanted to come and ask that. Just check that out. 2 Kings chapter 5, verse 27.
Thank you. Thank you. I absolutely will. Shalom, right. Brother.
Shalom.
Shalom, Maya. Are you there?
Maya?
What are you, Maya?
No, this is Anthony.
Anthony. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Maybe the person I oh, look at you. You're a strong looking elder there. Don't
I like to think so. Yeah,
like
I'm just looking at Obadiah 1 and 2. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised.
yes, yes,
Yep.
that is so true.
They like they like dropping like flies out here, man.
Yeah.
Like I said in the chat, the only Tyler I see is the Orange Man.
Mm-hmm. You know what you're saying is so true, Anthony. You know, for a long time, they didn't reveal the numbers during the pandemic, but they did not long ago. They did reveal the real numbers, and it was mostly them that
Yep,
dropped the flies up in here.
9/10 of a baby. They can't catch up.
Yeah, yeah, yep, that's true.
They will not catch up. It's gonna be like they never was here in a little while,
Mm-hmm.
relatively speaking.
Yes, yes. Is there anything else you want to add?
No, I'm good. I mean, I'm like listening to this. I'm like 7%, 8%. No, y'all not gonna make it.
No, no, because when you really think about it, they don't have the manpower, you know, they
Yeah,
really don't have it. That's why they got to use all the psychology on you to make you think they're this huge group that they really aren't.
I don't see them in my day. I don't see it.
Yeah, yeah, I hear you.
And I'm in Las Vegas. It's like everything out here.
Oh, you in Sin City, huh?
Definitely,
Oh man.
definitely. Got tired of cold weather long time ago.
Uh-huh.
So I moved to where it was hot. Shoot, I like hot weather.
hmm Yeah,
You know,
but
for there,
when our Father finally reclaims us, it'll be interesting to find out where we really belong. And I
yeah,
don't know. I kind of have a feeling it's going to be in a much warmer climate than what we're in.
yeah, he's gonna grab us and say, "No, y'all need to come this way. Come on." And
Uh-huh.
like little children, you're gonna take him by the hand and go exactly where he say go.
hmm Yeah, absolutely. All right, Anthony. Thank you so much for coming on the panel. You know you're more than welcome to come back on.
Yep, thank you, Lisa. See you later, sis.
Yes. Maya, are you there?
Hi, I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, wonderful. Well, Lisa, I just want to commend you for your podcast. I have been listening to you for a number of years, and
Yeah.
I enjoy the format where it's sometimes short and to the point, and I can move on and collect information and get on with my day. But I just wanted to make a point about the new immigrants, these what I like to refer to as this third wave of immigrants, the ones who are coming now, and they're primarily immigrants of color. And they are quite different from the immigrant population who came to the United States, the white Europeans. The
hmm
and the white Europeans, when they came, they really their metal was tested on if they truly wanted to be Americans, because they were drafted into the Civil War. They were the white Europeans. They were drafted to serve in World War One and World War Two, and you know, so there was a component of military service and community service. The immigrant group that's coming in right now, they are just using the United States as an ATM.
Yes.
They have absolutely no desire to serve the country. The reason why, and this is my opinion, The reason why our military recruitment numbers are down is because Hispanics, who are the largest demographic group of our country, they are not serving in the numbers of their population proportion.
No, because you hit the nail on the head when you said that. And you can tell they're not really interested, because when they get here, what do? They fly the flag of their native land.
Yes. And that
you can
annoys
tell
me.
their heart is not with America, it's still with their native land. They're showing you where their interest is. It's not in this country.
Yes. And here is what really annoys me, especially about our Black leadership, when they do not showcase Black excellence and how we are more than contributing to the United States. Do you realize?
More than anyone else. Sister, let me tell you something. 2 days ago, I came across an article. A young Black teen came up with a soap, listen to me now, that kills cancer. I kid y'all not. He came, this is a Black teenager. You can look this up. He invented a cancer killing soap. I said, do you know how huge that is? My fear is that they will see that and try to rob him of it. Because you know what a huge thing that is. If you can just go in a shower with a bar of soap and kill a lot of the cancers in your body, yeah, they're going to try to rob him of that.
Or they're going to suppress his work, so the pharmaceuticals can continue to make their money hand over fist.
Yes.
Yes. But what I wanted to talk to you about is the military, because I am a veteran.
Yeah.
Do you realize that during Operation Desert Storm, that 40% of the Army's recruits were Black?
Yes.
40%. Do you also realize that our military, the recruitment numbers are so low that Blacks are returning on their 5th and 6th deployment? Where the hell are these Hispanics and this new immigrant group? And
They're
so,
not going to join.
and this is what I would tell the policymakers and to get the Congressional Black Caucus off their butt. If they want to become citizens, there must be some kind of military service requirement. They have to give to the country, because all other immigrants from previous generations did so. So that's all that I have. I won't hold up the line here.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for coming on the panel. I deeply appreciate your input. Shalom, Carl. How are you?
How are you?
All right. So how do you want to chime in on this topic?
Well, what you were saying earlier.
Your mic is breaking up, Carl.
Okay, hold on for 1 second.
Okay.
Is that a little bit better?
A little bit.
Okay, we'll turn it up a little bit, maybe. Okay. Yeah, well, what you were saying about the them bringing other persons in the country to replace the white folks that are dying off. I'm going through the immigration process with my spouse, with my wife, and she's from Dominican Republic. And when I was going through the immigration process, and it was asking for her, her origin and all that, right? And I said she's Dominican, and it gave me a choice of either saying, African American, Black, or Native, or white. So I said, well, no, she's Dominican. So then I called and asked him. I said, so how am I supposed to address her, because it's not showing her race. So they said put white. I said, what do you put white? I said, she's not white. She's Dominican. She's mixed. She's Black. They said, no, you have to put white. If it's Dominican, you got to put white.
Yes.
wow, okay, that said a lot there. So it goes here with the narrative what Joe Biden was trying to do and bringing people from other countries and particularly the Latinos
Mhm.
and making them all to be white.
Yes.
I found that was very interesting because I was going through that process and I discovered that. I said, wow, she's not white. They want me to put white on here when she's not. This is crazy.
Right. But they have been doing that for many decades now in this country. And that's why when you look at the census, it's really a load of falsehoods. Because when they take the census, all these, and like I said, the only reason why their numbers are big is because they have classified all these brown people as white.
Exactly.
And it's really not any other reason.
It's sad though, but like I said, their time is it's fast approaching. Their time is up. That's all I can say. So they're doing everything they can to keep themselves in power and to keep the status quo. But you've been weighed, buddy. It's time for you to get the heck out.
I hear you. I hear you.
Okay, sister. That was all
Thank
I
you
wanted.
so much for coming on the panel. I really enjoyed our time, and you're more than welcome to come back anytime you want.
Okay, you have a good one. Thanks.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Hello, Miss Danielle. Shalom.
Shalom. Good morning to everybody. How's everyone doing?
Okay. I'm doing well. I hope you are too.
Freezing right now. It's cold out here. We're in like the upper 30s, lower 40s. I
Yeah.
got the
Here in
out.
Jersey, we were in the 20s
Yeah.
last night.
Goodness, I have the gas stove on heating up the house right now. We like where I live. We live in a like really small house,
Okay.
and so I just cut the oven and stove on just to heat up the whole house for a while. So I'm just still in the bed trying to keep warm
I hear you.
until the house get warm. But I didn't even get the notification that you were on. I just happened to be going and searching, and I saw you were live. But what I wanted to say, like the part when you said that when you were out, I mean, what the part with when you go out and you don't see that many of them with children, you see more black and brown. That this is very true because I work retail, so I see everything, and I see far more of us, far more brown with children than them. And as far as like the 7% worldwide, I can believe it. And even I remember when you mentioned maybe about a year or two ago, if you go look on legacy.com, the obituary, you see far more of them than us.
Do you know when I showed that video during the time of the pandemic where there was more of them in the obituaries than us? Do you know they completely blocked that live stream?
What? Well, I can believe it. I can believe it.
They don't want that truth out there.
I can believe it. Yeah. Whenever that's why I like to watch you and others who, I notice the ones who really do point out the truth when they shadow ban you and stuff. I say, okay, what are they trying to not let us find out? So that's what makes me, listen to the people that I do listen to. But that's all I pretty much wanted to say. And just continue doing what you're doing. Just keep putting that truth out. And by the way, your products are fabulous.
Thank you.
I've got to get some more spray. I saw hair growing on a part of my head that I forgot I had lost that in college from wearing caps so much. Getting up early in the morning, having to go to class, and not feel like doing my hair. I would always put a cap on my head, and it wore out the my hairline to the front. So I hadn't seen it since the 90s.
Wow. Yeah, but you know what? As long as you still got hair follicles, even if it's thin, that's what a lot of people don't realize. Even if you got thinning hair on top or your edges are thin, as long as hair follicle there, it can regrow.
Yeah. And so I was like, oh my God. I said, my hairline. I said, I forgot. I showed my, because my daughter got, she was, when I got it, she started using it. She ordered some as well. I
Mhm.
use it in my little boy's hair because he's been going through this thing where his hair just falls out, but that's more internal. But it does help that
It
part.
will stop. It will stop. If you use it, it may take a few weeks, but he should notice the hairs, fall will stop.
Yeah, I have to get some more of the hair growth spray because I might have to order 2 3 bottles because I really go through that one.
Yeah, a lot of people, what you really need to know, the hairspray, the rosemary clove, and it's aloe liquid, it's got a shelf
Hmm.
life of 2 years, y'all. You could literally keep that around for 2 years and it would still be good.
Well, it's not gonna last 2 years over here.
I'm just saying, if some people think they got to use it right away. You really don't. But some people, prefer a spray over the oil. You know what I mean? Or vice versa. There's
Hmm.
some that prefer the oil over the spray. It's your preference. But what I try to do is make sure every product that you use, you will benefit from it. Your hair will benefit from it.
Now the Batana oil,
Yes.
that's an odd smell, but it's all right with me.
I love that.
Yeah, it's
You know
different. I like it.
Do you know when I prepare the Batano oil and get it in the jars that I sell to y'all? The
Hmm.
whole house, I kid you not, when I do it downstairs, the whole first floor of the house smells like Batana oil. It has that strong of a smell. When you have
When
a
I
lot of it together and I got
hmm
jars and stuff, and man, the smell is powerful. The whole house on the first floor will smell just like Batana oil. It'll hit you right in the face.
Now with that, I said I know I won't have to order that often and stuff, but that spray, the shampoo is excellent. I
Mhm.
love that. I know we're waiting for the water down here is terrible. It's like I don't know what they've done to the water, but it's been irritating my skin so bad. And the rest of my children, my daughter ordered a purifying shower head.
Uh-huh.
We're just waiting for that to get in and stuff. Cause I know my daughter really don't want to wash her hair in this water because of how her skin has been irritated too. Now we had a purifier on the shower, but this one is not good at all. And
Yeah.
plus, we had an oil spill in the bayou
Oh,
across the highway. Oh, that was about 3 months ago, 4 months.
wow.
And where it happened at, they said it was only going to affect the people that lives directly on the bayou. But if you're like across the highway or not close to it, it won't affect you. I said that's crap because it's the same water system.
Right. And they don't really thoroughly clean up these oil
No,
spills at all.
no,
No,
and
they
not to mention one of my coworkers. She said that there was a town that I used to live in further down from here, about 15 minutes away. She said the fish haven't been biting in that bayou. Nothing. People haven't been able to catch anything. And
okay.
she said, matter of fact, after the BP oil spill happened in the Gulf, she said things have not been the same since then.
No, it hasn't. And they never really cleaned up the Gulf.
No,
They never
they
really
haven't.
cleaned that up. No. And it's sad because they do all that talking about cleaning it up, getting billions of dollars from the government and everything. And at the end of the day, they don't clean up nothing. And
No,
that's the truth.
and that's why I said, like, and I've noticed since that happened, the water has gotten worse over here. And
Yeah.
I have a reverse osmosis machine. It's not the I need to get the one that you could put under the cabinet. The one we have was countertop. That thing takes up a lot of space. But that thing, if any, I'll tell anybody if you can get a reverse osmosis machine, do it. It makes a huge difference
Yeah.
with
Now,
when you process your water.
here, the water is what it is, but the air quality has been an issue now for like the last good year. And I can tell the air quality in my state has changed. some days I wake up, my eyes are already watering in the morning, and you would think this time of the year where you don't have, the pollen in the air, it would be different, but it's not different. And I was like, it's something about this air quality that has changed and it's gotten worse. So
Well,
I
Louis,
fire machine
well,
over my house.
yeah,
It's hell.
yeah, I used to have one when I lived in Dallas. I used to live up there almost 15 years. And we used to have air purifiers, and they make a big difference. They really do help. If you can get one, I forgot what the name of that brand we used to use. It had all you did was pull the thing out and you wipe the filter off and you stick it back in. It kept our air clean.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm telling you, you can tell a difference. Oh, that's my son, my
Okay.
little 4-year old. He said good morning.
Good
But you
morning.
can definitely tell a big difference. Those air purifiers do make a big difference.
Yeah, they do.
And Louisiana, just overall, the air is terrible down here already. And being that we live right by cane fields and stuff, it's cane season. The cane dust has been horrible,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
we always get we always get something around this time of the year because of the cane dust. My car is covered with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
but I'm sorry. What were you gonna say?
I said no, I believe it. But yeah, the one thing that I'm trying, and yes, the beard oil does work. I'm getting the men telling me spots on their face where the beard would not grow in is now growing in since they've been using the oil. So it does work. And it even works for men that don't have a beard at all and you want to grow a beard, you just put it on the spots on your face where you want the hair to grow in, it'll start growing in. So even a
I,
man with no beard can benefit from the beard oil.
oh yeah, I sent that link to my manager in my department because her husband has a full beard, and I was telling her about your products, and I said there's a beard oil. I said your husband would love it. And I
Mhm.
said there's a lot of brothers that speak into it, and they say it's absolutely great. So I sent her the link.
Yes, yes. And the one thing I'm trying to promote and sell more is the pomade. Y'all, that pomade is good. It works just like the hair oil. If you got inches from the hair oil, you'll actually get inches of new growth from the pomade as well. I mean, I'm
Okay.
selling some, but not like I want to sell them. I want to sell a lot more. One good thing is the beard oil has picked up a lot. I'm getting a lot of men grabbing up on the beard oil, but I just want to promote and get my pomade out there just as much. And y'all, please promote the products. If you see any of the YouTube shorts or something, just promote it elsewhere. Like if you have an Instagram account, and that those little gestures do really help.
Okay.
So thank you so much, Miss Danielle, for coming up on the panel. It was a pleasure speaking to you.
Always a pleasure speaking with you too, Miss Lisa.
And please enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Oh,
Shalom.
I will. I have the whole weekend off.
Oh, good, good. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Shalom.
Shalom.
All right, y'all. Thank you for coming up. I'm going to post the link one more time just in case somebody else want to come up and say something. Yes, not only if you got thin eyebrows, Humble, even the oil will thicken up your eyebrows. All you got to do is just rub a little on your fingertips and then rub it across your eyebrows. And as long as you got hair follicles there, it should come in. The only time the products won't work if you've been bald and have not had hair growth for years and years and years, then no, it's not going to work for you. But even if you got like a thin amount of hair on top, that means the follicles are still there and it can help the hair come back in. And yes, it does work. I've had several people that lost their edges and their edges are now back. So it does work. And I know people are struggling, and I always say that's why I said start with the oil or even the hair magic oil. Just start with that. You don't have to have every product there. You can start with what you can afford. And that's what I would advise you to do. I mean, all you need is really, those of you that are on the budget, all you need is just that one product that works. And, and as things change for you, you can get more products. And the only thing I regret is if Trump gets in with this tariff thing, I have to go up on my prices. And I was hoping that I could get through all of 2025 without raising prices and just giving you discounts along the way, which I would do anyway, even if I had to raise the prices. I'll always make sure you can get discounts, especially for repeat customers. Mike, I just saw you and you disappeared, so I don't know what's happening. I mean, you can come back if you can. Yeah. So, I don't know if you want to come back, Mike, but you can. All right. I go to link again. Oh, yeah. Big Levi. Yes, his beard does look great. It does. You can tell it's all the way in now, which is wonderful, which is a wonderful thing. Okay. I mean, it's okay if nobody else wants to come up on the panel to say anything. So that's all I wanted to go over with you today was that video that came out on TikTok. And, and I don't know if any of you have been following the court case. TikTok lost in court. They went to the Court of Appeals and they lost. And it still stands that they'll either get banned or they have to sell TikTok in America. So their court case, I think they're hoping to go to the Supreme Court. But in my opinion, if the Court of Appeals knocked down their appeal and said, no, you will get banned or you have to sell, I think the Supreme Court is going to stick with what the courts of appeals came out with. Oh, I do have somebody. All right, hold on, y'all. Hi, Mika. How are you? Shalom.
Oh my goodness. When I heard this Caucasian man say that like white people in South Africa were indigenous to South Africa, I knew something was up.
Yeah.
And it's like it's very interesting how they categorize all of these people as white, Caucasian, or European when they're clearly not, and they're not the same way. It's weird.
Yeah. And it's always been that way. And I think because we have been asleep for so long, people just didn't pay attention to it like they should have. But I think now the tides are turning and people are starting to see things a lot differently now.
Oh, yes, they are. A lot of people. And like also I found out that in I think it's Nigeria. I didn't know that 60% of the people, the black people in Nigeria, they use pin lightning cream.
Yes. It's bad in Africa. It's bad. And I don't get it. I really don't. But it just goes to show you how far reaching white supremacy has been on this planet.
Yeah, and like when I see the videos, it's almost like it's a chemical peel, and you see the melanin. Oh, I was like, no,
And the thing is, you bring up a good point because once they lose that melanin, it never comes back. That's why a lot of times the people in the Caribbean, they start sunburning for the first time in their life after their melanin is stripped out of the skin. It does not come back.
Yep, exactly. A lot of them have discoloration in their face and on their neck and all that
Yeah.
other stuff.
Hmm.
And this is just me, okay? But I do notice how like some women when they wear makeup, you can clearly see that their face is a different color than their neck, and
Yes.
I'm just like, why would you get something that's that like lighter than your natural hue to cover your face, and then your neck is a whole darker color,
Yeah.
and still boils down to self hate. And I still think it's odd how a lot of our people still see these Caucasians as upstanding and all this other great stuff when you see how they treat us
Hmm.
day,
Yeah.
I believe that's still part of like post traumatic slave syndrome.
It really is. And it's astonishing when you see such a melanated continent like Africa. You would think that would be the most resistant to those kind of things, but actually, we're way better than they are when it comes down to colorization. They'll try to bring up, oh, y'all try to be like us, you bleach your skin. No, in this country, the percentage of people that do that is extremely low.
Yes, not a lot of black people
Extremely low.
trying to.
Just like you see, they'll say, oh, well, you black women are dyeing your hair blonde. That is not the majority. That is a very low percentage of the women that do that. That is not the majority. They can't really make those claims when it comes down to us over here in this land because we don't bleach and go blonde like they do in Africa. I have seen African women bleach their skin, put on blonde weaves, and put in blue contact lenses. I have seen that. I have
Oh
seen it.
my, oh my goodness, that is so funny because it reminds me of an episode of the Boondocks. And they was talking to Uncle Ruckus' mother, and his mother had blonde hair, blue contacts, and she wanted to be with a white man.
You know who does that with all the money they had? Diddy's mother. P. Diddy's mom. She did that
Oh,
mess. She gets the
oh,
blonde hair and blue contacts and her melanated skin. She looks ridiculous to me.
yeah. Hold on, Diddy's mom. Oh yeah, and they some nasty people. Diddy done he kissed his mother on the mouth on camera. They just nasty people. But you got Lil Kim out here looking like a weird brat doll. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
yeah.
And I'm
It is
I'm like,
ridiculous.
what's
But
going on?
it's the colorization thing seems to be the worst in Africa and the Caribbean. And I remember years ago when I was reading about the skin bleaching creams, they said the biggest imports of it goes to Africa. And then second is the Caribbean. And they got so many
Hmm.
brands out, and people are making a killing on it because you got so many psychologically jacked up people on this planet that think there's something wrong with their melanin, which is the biggest gift from the Heavenly
Yep,
Father that we have is our melanin.
yep. And a lot of that the product for skin bleaching actually comes from China and it's giving these people cancer. It's
Yes.
giving black people cancer. And
Mhm.
what they don't understand is that our melanin goes throughout our entire body. That's why our
Internally,
our are
internally
so.
too, you're right. Internally too, we got melanin in our brain. Okay,
Hmm.
and your internal organs all have melanin. Why do you think sometimes when white people get transplants, if they get one from one of us, it gets rejected because it's not meant for their bodies? It's not,
Right.
you know? And the thing is, but our organs are the most sought after because of that melanin that's in. It's the strongest organs you can get on the planet are the ones that come from our people.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And it's like and what's another thing that's funny, and I don't even know if I can call it funny or odd, but I remember reading that that they used to eat us. I do remember the book, The Delectable Negro,
Mm-hmm.
and I do remember that they used to take, like in the 1900s, they used to take Egyptian mummies, grind they bones and stuff up, and use it as makeup.
Yeah, and
And
smoke it too. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, that's another reason why chattel
And see, that's how
slavery
you
was.
know that's not their people. Because that's how you know. They'll tell you, oh, we're the Egyptians. That's how you know they're not the Egyptians, because they don't have a problem desecrating those mummified bodies. They don't have no
Mm-hmm.
respect for them. That's how I was like, no, because if you those were really your people, you wouldn't be doing stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Another reason why chattel slavery was so bad. They used our skin to make like backing for Bibles, like leather cases for
Shoes.
Bibles,
Yeah,
coats,
shoes. Yep.
shave our head, use it as cushion feeling for their couches.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Yeah, shoes, wallets. I mean, everything, anything you would use leather for, that's what our skin was used for. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's very true.
Mhm. But they show you who they really are in all of these movies and all of these crazy movies that they put out. Yeah, they show you exactly who they are.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So thank you, Mika, for coming on to the panel. I enjoyed you being on the panel, and feel free to come
Okay.
back anytime you want.
All right. All right.
Shalom, sister. Oh, it's Big Mike. Big Mike. Oh my goodness. You're muted. You're muted. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Big Mike. Are
Okay,
you
can you
there?
hear me now? Can you hear
I
me now?
can.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh my goodness. You cut off those beautiful locks you had.
yeah. I had to get rid of it. Yes,
Oh,
ma'am. I had to get rid
that's
of it.
okay. That's okay. That you still look like a handsome man.
Uh, I look okay. Handsome is a strong word.
Oh no, you got the women jumping in the comment section.
Oh no, no, you gonna make my dark skin blush.
Oh well, it's good to see
Oh,
you. And how
you
do you
too,
want
you
to
too.
chime in on this subject matter?
Yeah, I want to lead people with a scripture, one scripture, Jeremiah 4:7. It
Hmm.
reads, "The lion has come up from his thickets, and the destroyer of the Gentiles is on his way."
Amen.
So, so these people, let them have their fun under the sun that's burning them, because when he get here, it ain't gonna be nothing nice.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
These people don't have no respect for us at all,
No.
and I don't know how many examples the Most High got to keep giving us to show us that these people don't love nor respect you, or respect nor love you. If they don't respect us, you know they don't respect him, and we his children.
Mm-hmm.
How can I have a love for you, Lisa, but I hate your child?
Right. That is absolutely impossible.
Yes, it's
But he'll see
impossible.
through. He'll see through all of that, though. Because
Yeah,
we know when they realize um, everything is no longer in their hands. Yeah, some of them are going to cleave that really are being disingenuous, and he'll know how to weed out them people.
yeah, because he said, it's in Jeremiah 17, I think it's 8 and 9, but he said he know their thoughts. He weighs their thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
We can't see their thoughts. See, he knows the intent of their heart, what's going on in that mind. They can put on a show in the flesh, in the eyes that we can see them with. They can put on a show that they like us, but in that mind, that's what he gonna get them in the mind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Big Mike, I was over on you're a trucker, so you know the landscape of America probably better than the average person. And
Uh-huh.
there is a place, I think it's called Coleman, Alabama. And people have been all over TikTok talking about what a sundown town it is. And you should see them white folks are
Coleman,
coming
Alabama. Okay.
making videos talking about it's not racist here. I've never had a problem here. And I said, why would you have a problem? You're a white person there. And I just thought that was hilarious. They keep coming on there talking about we're not a sundown town. I've been here for 40 years. I never had a problem, but you're a white person in a sundown town. Why would you have a problem there? It's just stupid
Yeah,
for them to say that on a video.
yeah, I know what. Yeah, I know what Coleman, Alabama is. It's north of Birmingham, Alabama. It's because Birmingham, Alabama is predominantly black. Coleman got a few blacks there, but yes, Coleman, Alabama, and all those little white towns outside of Birmingham are sundown towns. I'm gonna give you an example where I live. Tupelo, Mississippi is predominantly black. North of Tupelo is a little town called Baldwin. That's where I grew up at. It's black, predominantly black, few, but whites are there, but we outnumbered them, right? But when you get out there outside of Baldwin, like Marietta, Tishomingo, Iuka, Burnsville, that's not a place for you. You stay out in Belmont, Mississippi, Red Bay, Alabama. You don't go there. Yeah, it's real. But people think when we put this stuff on social media, they gonna come try to defend it because that's where they live and they know it's the truth. Just like they didn't like when those TikTokers was putting on blast up there in North Carolina where that flood hit all those sundown towns.
Yeah. You know,
It,
speaking of that, in North Carolina, I was going back and reading, boy, if they did some treacherous things to our people up in those mountains. Woo, they did. And they said a lot of those homes that them folks live in were passed down from their great grandfather, and those homes I might as well say were in their possessions all this time. And people don't realize those plantations were still there up in those mountains. And they had inherited from their grandfathers and fathers those homes. Those were the homes that got destroyed up in that area in North Carolina. A lot of those homes are gone now. And those were the places where slavery was heavily fortified up in that area.
Are you familiar with the Ozark Mountains in Arkansas?
Yes.
Okay, when I first started driving, I used to deliver to all the Walmart supercenters. And it's a town, I forgot the name of that town, but when you come in there, it says no niggers, no colored people after dark.
Okay, I know what you mean.
Yeah, and so when I delivered, all I had to do was drop a trailer, go get my bill of lading sign, and the guy asked me, "Are you staying all night here?" I said, "No, I'm finna go to my next destination." Yeah, because they don't like your kind around here. We don't like y'all kind around here. I said, "You ain't got to worry about me." But I was a 21-year-old. I was still gullible on how the world works.
Right.
Now, have I ever been called?
Stop you there, Big Mike, because I want your opinion on this. The lynchings that have occurred, and they happen to be truckers. You know, one of the things I have heard, and you can kind of elaborate on this one because I really want your opinion. They said a lot of them young guys don't know they're actually going into a sundown town, and the ones that recently got lynched got caught up in that mess. And it was saying, I mean, what advice would you give a young trucker before they get out here and start traveling to places that they really don't know?
Google the population of them towns. in them backwoods, on these back roads, any city. Like, for example, we're gonna use Vidor, Texas. You know Vidor, Texas, very racist.
Oh
Sundown
hell
town in
yeah.
Texas. You always gotta Google where you going to check out the racial dynamics of that city or that town. Google would tell you how many percentage of whites it is versus how many percentage of blacks it is. Always try to stay in the public's eye view. And what I mean by that, when you deliver that load and they ain't got nowhere for you to go, get to the major truck stop and sit down. Don't be out exploring. Don't be out doing anything in these little towns that you ain't got no business. Because,
Hmm.
we'll see, I mean, America is very appealing to a person that's never traveled. Like myself at 21. I used to get out, Lisa, and walk in these little stores and stuff, just to see because it's new to me, right?
Hmm.
And that's how these little guys get caught up. And they use the same tactics.
Yeah.
They'll sick a white girl on him. She'll act like she like him, and this is how these brothers are getting lit.
Mm, yeah.
3 years ago, 3 to 4 years ago, my cousin was lynched. He wasn't lynched in a
Oh
tree.
no.
He was murdered.
Uh-huh. Oh, that's
Yeah,
terrible, Mike. I'm
by
sorry
the
about.
lying lips. Yeah, because she lured him out. They beat him and left him out in the woods for dead. They didn't rule it a suicide. You know what they said? He had a diabetic shock. That's what they
Okay,
said.
so
That's what the
people
coroner
lynch
said.
themselves. So people lynch themselves over a diabetic shock. Okay.
Yeah, and he was naked. Oh, well, he took his clothes off because he got hot.
They got an explanation for everything, don't they?
Yeah. So
Mm,
it's a trucker, black. I forgot his channel, but he does videos on these black truckers that come up dead
mm-hmm.
on a live. And I watch his channel, and like I said, now with the younger guys in my area that comes up that's up under us, we educate them like, look, don't be out here gullible. People at home don't act like this when you get outside of the state of Mississippi. Watch yourself, because they see us as a target. They
Right.
think we make a lot of money and stuff like this. It's a lot, Lisa. But we do educate our younger brothers. But some of them don't listen.
Uh-huh.
Some of them hard headed. Can't tell them nothing,
Mm-hmm.
and they got to find out the hard way.
Yeah, well, that's not a way to find out anything, because you ain't coming back from that. One mistake,
No,
and you may not be coming back to that truck. And the trucking companies ain't gonna give a crap. They'll just give the truck to the next guy and keep on going. They don't care.
and when I was a fool in my 20s, I was a fool. Didn't know myself. Didn't know who I was as a Israelite or whatever. I was never called the N word in Mississippi or anywhere down south. Never had a Caucasian to call me that. You know why I was called the N word at?
Where?
Massachusetts.
I believe it. I believe it. Big Mike, I was born and raised in Pennsylvania. And when I
Hmm.
was coming up, I would always hear this thing, oh, Pennsylvania is like the Alabama of the North. And I was like, and back then I didn't know what racism was, because I grew up in the hood and everybody around me were the same color, right? So I didn't
Right.
get that exposure. Do you know when I really saw it? When my family moved to New Jersey and we moved in the
Really?
suburbs. Man, did I see it then. Man, and it was like it hit you right between the eyes.
Yeah. Connecticut, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Vermont, and Maine. I
Hmm.
was all up in because I know the Northeast like I know the back roads of Mississippi. I know the
Yeah.
Northeast real well. And like
Hmm.
you said that Pennsylvania is the Alabama of the
Yeah.
North. You're
Uh-huh.
right, because I never seen so many rebel flags. When you get off in them backwoods and them mountains of them Poconos and over there in Williamsport and all that is up in them hills and Scranton, they got rebel flags out there
They sure do.
in the
They
in
do.
the
And
countryside.
a lot of those small rural areas up in Pennsylvania, don't make no mistake, y'all. A lot of our people have disappeared traveling through those kind of places in Pennsylvania and never were seen again.
I was
So
shocked to
those,
see rebel
those
flags
things
up
don't
north.
just, oh no, they're all over the north. If you look at a map, Big Mike, and you are looking for, where sundown towns are or where a lot of white supremacy groups are, New Jersey, where I am, have the biggest population of white supremacy groups in the Northeast. This little teeny state got the biggest amount of groups. Just think about that. I mean, just think about that. You
The
wouldn't think
Garden
it would
State.
be that way, right? You wouldn't think it would be that way, but it is. You can find almost every white supremacist group right here in New Jersey. They got a chapter of it right here in
Yeah,
this state.
I mean, but for me, because I've been all over New Jersey, that's like hard for me to believe that. And the reason I'm
Yeah.
saying I believe you, but it's hard for me to wrap my mind around this. What I'm saying is because Camden, New Jersey, black,
Yeah.
Newark,
Yep.
New Jersey, Elizabeth, New Jersey,
Right.
Piscataway, if I'm saying it right, if they how they say it. Y'all
No, you
y'all got
are.
funny ways of saying it.
No,
Yeah,
you're saying it
all
right. You're right.
yeah, all those black places. But I didn't really see New Jersey getting white till I got like what's they call it, Vinland? Is it Vinland, New Jersey?
Vineland.
Vineland?
Yeah, Vineland.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And what's the other little town down there in South Jersey? Anyway, now that's white. Now but I figure up north where like around Patterson, New Jersey, and Newark, New Jersey, and all that. I thought that was, wasn't racist. Is what I'm saying. I didn't know it was that bad.
Oh no, they are. They are. You just gotta kind of put on a tough skin when you go out there. And I
Oh
think
yeah.
I think the only reason they don't bother me so much, Big Mike, up in here is because I look mean when I go out. Some people will even walk up to me and say, "Smile." And smile for what? So anyway, yeah, I look so mean. They don't come up and bother me that much. They really don't.
Right.
They don't want to deal with me.
Right.
I look like that angry black woman. They don't want to bother me. But yeah, it's really bad. And I kind of knew that because I noticed the last few truckers that got lynched, they were all young guys. Every last one of them were young
Right.
guys. They were not the older trucker.
Man, Lisa, I'm telling you, I've been blessed by the Most High, protected, because like you don't want to break down in these little towns. If your truck
Oh,
break
hell
down, oh my, I done seen some stuff out here.
Big Mike, that happened to my dad. My dad, there was a section of the Northeast Philadelphia that was all white. And my dad was driving home from work and he had to drive through that area. His car broke down. He said them folks go to acting crazy if they see a black man out there with car problems. And that happened to him. Get the F out of our neighborhood, N-word. Get that shit and get out of here. And he was able to finally get the car started and get out of there. But yeah, they were yelling all kinds of shit at my father.
Yeah, but the mindset of us in the South, we think going up north there's no racism. That's how everybody in the South think.
Yeah,
I'm serious. Until
They're
when I got up there,
Mhm.
I said, "Oh, welcome to Mississippi." When I got to Massachusetts,
Yeah. If you remember when Dr. Martin Luther King had that march in Chicago, he said it was more vitriol from the white people there than he ever seen in the South.
yeah,
Mhm.
I'm telling you, I seen it and experienced it myself, and I was shocked. But about the white supremacists, groups that you have in your state, there's more
Mhm.
there.
Yeah.
I still can't wrap my mind around that.
Yeah. Well, the Pine Barrens is where our hills have eyes people live. They live in the Pine Barrens.
Uh-huh.
And that's all rural area. So they act like fools up there. I don't even go up around that area at all, you know. And those are the areas where they'll come out and see you black and take a shot at you. So, you know, we don't go around there. Usually the melanated people stay away from them Pine Barrens.
Man, you know what? The most High been with me when I was up there. I tell you, I did not know that.
Mhm.
Cause
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I've been all up in them backwoods in New Jersey and Connecticut and Massachusetts and New Hampshire and Vermont. In Vermont, I was so I only seen one black person in Vermont and New Hampshire,
Wow.
just one.
Wow.
Ain't no
Yeah.
black people up there in New
No,
Hampshire and Vermont
no, it isn't. You know, the
and
funny part is,
Maine.
yeah, Maine, Vermont, yeah, they don't really have ain't too many of us up in there at all. Mm-mm.
Ooh. Mm-mm.
Man,
Mm-mm.
yeah, I bet I can imagine the things you have seen being on the road.
Man, I've seen a lot of stuff, a lot of crazy stuff too. I seen
Yeah.
some stuff that make everybody in this room throw up. I'm on this chat, throw up,
Wow.
and I dare not say it.
Hmm. You know, Big Mike, I remember the first time I ever noticed racism. My family, I must have been maybe about 5 or 6 years old. We were going down south and we had stopped at one of those, you know, those rest stops on the way down.
Mm-hmm.
And when we walked in the bathroom, it was just my mom and I was a little girl then. This white woman looked at my mother and said, "You're not supposed to be in here. This is the white bathroom." And my mother looked and said, "Well, I didn't see no sign on the door." And she was like, "You can't be in here. This is the one." So it was a really big, heavy black woman that was the bathroom attendant. So my mother walked up to her and said, "Is this the white bathroom?" That woman jumped. I tell you what, that big woman, I never seen anybody move faster than her. She jumped out of her seat and said, "Who told you this is some white bathroom?" She said, "You get in there and you use that bathroom." You should have seen the look on that white woman's face. She ran the hell up on out of there when that black woman rose up.
Damn.
She said, this ain't no white bathroom. Anybody can use it. She said, "I'm gonna stand right here. You get in there and use that bathroom." She was telling my mother, and we went in there and used it, and that white woman hightailed it the hell up on out of the bathroom.
Yeah, I was a 15, and you know, me and my family, me and my dad, we fish a lot, and it was me, my dad, and my godfather, goddad or whatever, and we was fishing, and this guy in this little raggedy boat, my dad had bought a brand new bass boat, nice boat, still got it today. I'm talking about, it was just sparkling and sitting out there on that water. So anyway, that white man come all the way across the lake in this little John boat, little bitty boat. Come up to, he said, "Is that your boat?" And daddy said, "Hell, I'm driving it." And that white man said, "You should have my boat and I should have your boat."
What?
And yeah, and my goddaddy said, when you get a job like we got, you can go buy a boat like we got.
Uh-huh. Oh my goodness. Wow.
Woo, I'm telling you, like I'm talking about this in the South. They have no shame. My cousin bought a brand new brother. A lot of people know my brother. He bought a brand Chevy, when them Chevy Camaros had just come out. He got it had the drop top on it, right?
Uh-huh.
And we was at the gas station in it. Police pull up. He looked over there. He said, "Man, that's a nice car you got." And my cousin said, "Thank you." He said, and I'm talking about it get personal. White folks in the South get very personal. He said, you don't mind me asking how much you pay for it?" Cousin just shot him a number 40,000. Oh, how much your payments on it? He told him
Wow.
how much the payments on it. I said that's just too much damn information. But the
Yeah,
moral
it
of the
sure
story
is.
is, he couldn't wrap his mind around that black people can afford nice things. Because
You
he want
know,
to know his job and everything. He said, well, what you do for a living?
mhm. Yeah, well, Big Mike, I went to the grocery
Yeah.
store, and back in, it must have been about 2008, I had bought a Chrysler 300, fully loaded, had a sunroof on it. I
Oh
had
yeah, that's black people car.
I had a
Yeah.
customized grill on it. I had the customized grill on it and everything, right? So I pull into the supermarket, and there's a cop right behind me. And I'm like, I didn't do nothing. I was not speeding. I just turned in from the red light. I turned into where the supermarket was and I parked. He got directly behind me. And I was like, oh man. So I'm going through my purse looking for my registration and my license. And I was like, I don't know what the hell I did. So I get out of the car, and he looks at me and said, where did you get the grill from your car from? And I'm like, what? He said, yeah, where did you get that grill from? I like that grill. I'm like, oh my God, you followed me over a grill? So we talked for a little bit, and he was like, well, what are you doing? I said, I'm just going in to do some grocery shopping for my family. And he was like, oh, yeah. He said, because I'm thinking about getting a 300 for my wife. But, I see all the different grills. He said, the grill you got on there, I never seen before. I just wanted to know where. I was like, oh, my heart is racing. I'm thinking I did something wrong. He's going to accuse me of something. This dude followed me over a grill. That's what he did.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah,
yeah. That's what they do.
My dad said if he weren't around, he probably would have tried to take that baby off. I said, yeah, well, I was at the supermarket and it was pretty crowded, and he would have looked kind of obvious trying to pop it off there.
Wow. Yeah, but like down here, if we buy a nice house, or if we buy anything nice, a vehicle, anything, they will question you.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. That is the truth. When I was up in Detroit, most of my family worked for, the United Auto Worker industry. So they were riding in nice car, each and every one of them that worked for GM. They were I'm telling you, they were riding in some nice cars. I had one cousin, they would not leave him alone. He kept getting pulled over multiple times. He bought a BMW, and he had a customized color on it. It was like a champagne looking color, a color you normally wouldn't see. They would not leave him alone. They would not leave him alone. Those cops up there. That what he's saying is true.
Man, you can't have. I said, man, they don't want you to have cold. They don't want you to have a cold. They want that. They envy that. They can't understand how is this Negro afford something like this. That's what goes through their mind.
Yeah, exactly.
As if we don't work hard or twice as hard as they do.
I know. Nobody gives us anything. If anything, we are the one group they don't give nothing to up in here.
Sure right. You sure right.
Nothing.
And I was on TikTok, and I did not know that black people saved Cadillac.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
And Cadillac didn't want us buying their cars.
Sure didn't.
My dad had a couple of Cadillacs when I was growing up, Big Mike. My dad he used to love Cadillac, and we would get Cadillac. He would get a Cadillac all the time when I was growing up.
Oh yeah. Yeah, when I get time, I'm gonna go to the Cadillac dealership and say, you know, if it wasn't for black people, y'all wouldn't be in business today. I need a free one. Give me that free one right there. I need a free Cadillac.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yes, a lot of people don't know that Cadillac almost completely went under. The only reason why they didn't is because our people were buying Cadillacs and literally saved the industry.
Yeah, the banks wouldn't lend us the money to buy those nice cars, but then they started lending us money, and Cadillac cars were so cheap, we just started buying them
Yeah.
because they were, they were struggling. And so once they got out the hole, now look at Cadillac, how much they worth today.
Oh,
$70,000,
yeah.
$80,000.
In fact, there's a lot of people that go after those old Cadillacs and try to restore them and everything. And they'll run down to that. Why do you think Cuba got so many of those cars from the 1950s? You know why they got all those old cars in Cuba? Because that's when they set those embargoes on Cuba. So the last time they were able to get cars in there were the 1950s. That's why they're still driving those cars around today. The embargoes have kept cars from coming in there. They're not riding those cars because they love old cars, because the embargoes made it impossible for cars to be shipped in there.
I did not know that.
Yes. That's why they got those. That's why people, when they want an old classic car, they'll buy it from Cuba and ship it back here because they got so many there. Y'all see what sanctions and embargoes can do? That's what happened to Cuba.
Yeah, Trump gonna sanction and what do you call it? Tariffs and boy, he gonna do some sanction, ain't he?
I just started my small business this year. And the thing is, I said, okay, I'm not going to raise no prices all through 2025. I had said that like earlier in the summer. And then Trump came along with all this tariff talk. And I'm like, oh, crap, I'm going to have to raise my prices because all my supplies are going to cost more money if he raised the tariffs.
Oh, wow.
And
that
somebody said, well, if you buy American, it won't affect you. What are you talking about? It is going to affect you. You know how many manufacturing jobs left America and they're over in places like China and Korea now?
And
you may be able to get some things America, but a lot of stuff you will never be able to get in America.
Is it true that I saw somewhere? I don't know if I saw that's on your channel or somebody. China ain't gonna buy U.S. farm
Yes,
stuff.
yes. Those white farmers are crying all over videos. I was just laughing because I thought about how they did the black farmers up in here. Well, they're crying because China has cut, I think, $100 billion in imports from farmers. And they were getting things like soybeans, corn, those type of things from farmers here in America. They ain't gonna get none of that from these farmers now. They said they'll get it elsewhere. And so now these white farmers are all over videos crying, talking about Donald Trump, what you gonna do? We need help. Yeah, because y'all go back and look at the history of farming in this country. A lot of the white farmers that you're looking at today they're sitting on land they stole from black farmers. Go look at the history. Many of them are. All right. So when they're crying, it's definitely, man, the Most High is definitely working on them now. They ain't gonna make no money, y'all. If China don't buy from them like they normally would every year, these white farmers ain't gonna make no money. And that's no exaggeration. They're not gonna make no money.
Well, with common sense, which they don't got, what common sense tells me, I need to have a sit down with these leaders of Russia and China and the other countries to keep this thing afloat and running sort of smoothly. and working together or something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But these folks, with
Yeah.
their hard-hearted asses, they can just still bully these folks into submission. Because I say
No,
so, and that's what it is, and that's it.
they're not scared. They're not scared of the U.S. They're not. And
That's
Donald
right.
Trump, I think in his mind, he didn't get the memo yet. Donald Trump think he can get up and say some tough words and the whole world is going to jump and just do whatever he wants. It's not going to be like that anymore. When he gets in office, his presidency is going to be what he did not expect. That's what's going to happen. The world is not shaking over his threats. In fact, China and Russia, after he
Oh no.
made the threats on BRICS to raise the tariffs 100%, China and Russia actually laughed about Donald Trump and what he said. And they said, well, that's fine. So China is now going around saying, if Donald Trump threatened your country, we'll take you and we won't even put tariffs on you. So they said they're going to steal the countries right under from the U.S. and take them over, with imports. So they're telling them,
See,
hey, if Donald Trump is being crazy, just come on over to us.
that's what they white savior is going to do for them, for to make it harder than it already is. They white savior, Donald Trump.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Because he said he was going to do 100% embargoes. I mean, not embargoes, tariffs on all BRICS nations. And they said, go right ahead. We're going to put 100% back on the U.S. I mean, does this man not know what retaliation is? Of course, people are not going to, because they said if they don't fight back, they can go down economically from all the tariffs that Donald Trump is putting on them. And they're not going to, go under. They're going to fight back.
Yeah. Boy, I tell you, they ain't got no common sense. Common sense tell me to just shut my mouth and let me work out a deal.
Yeah. He don't know how to do that. He don't know how to do that at all. Donald Trump is evil. Y'all remember the time he had the Native Americans, the so-called Native Americans at the White House, and he put a picture of Andrew Jackson in the backdrop behind the mic when they would get up and speak. You would also see that picture of Andrew Jackson. Donald Trump is evil. He really, truly is. He is wicked. That's a wicked ass man.
Let me ask you something, Lisa. Have you been seeing those so-called UFO sightings up there in New Jersey?
Yes.
Those drones?
They claim they're drones, but you know what, Big Mike? I saw that a couple of years ago. That's really not new in New Jersey. It's probably more of them in the sky. But at one point, like back in 2018, I was seeing drones in the skies every night. I could see the lights on them. And drones have that buzzing noise. That's how you know they're drones, because they have a distinctive noise.
Yeah,
And
that buzz noise.
Back then I was seeing them up in the sky.
Okay.
But yeah,
I was wondering, because I thought about you
Mhm.
when I seen that video. They was reporting on it, and to see them
Yeah,
things.
they've been stepping up, and I don't know if any of you in the chat have heard, but in New Jersey, there have been hundreds, if not thousands, of sightings of these drones up in the sky, and nobody knows who's doing it. They don't have any clue to who's doing it and putting all these drones up there. So they're trying to figure it out. They have not been able to figure it out yet. So that's what's going on.
But you can find you. That's what I'm saying. How silly our government, their government is. You can find out everything a Negro is doing, but you can't go out there and see what this drone is flying up in your skies above your head.
Exactly. And and drones are things, I don't think the average person should have drones. You should not put a drone up in the air unless there's a need for it, where you're trying to search for something, or you need to assess a landmass, maybe a fire's going on or something like that, or earthquake. But I really don't think average people should have them. I really don't. Do you know they said the drug cartels are now using drones to get the drugs over the border?
Yeah, I heard
They're
that.
using drones to get drugs over the border, y'all. But that's what happens when any and everybody can have a drone. Then, of course, all these illegal things are going to start happening.
Yeah, I was just wondering. I was thinking about you. I said, I wonder if she's seen any of those drones
Yeah,
or
I have.
UFOs or what.
Yep, I
Okay.
have. Yep, they're around here too. In fact, they have been seen in New Jersey statewide.
Wow. I know them heathens freaking out. Boy,
Mhm.
boy, these are exciting times we live in, boy. I tell
It
you.
sure is. It sure is. You know, Big Mike, and I was thinking about doing a live on you talking about trucking after a few of them truckers got killed in these areas that we know are sundown. You know, I'm glad I did get an opportunity to talk to you about that.
Yeah, Lisa, we come across racist businesses like plants. You'll be amazed how much like I'm gonna give you an example. Me and my dad was together one day, and we went to the guard shack to check in. There was a white lady there, and boy, she was so rude and racist. I mean, you could smell the racism on her breath, and it smelled
Wow.
like bologna.
Ooh.
I'm telling you. I mean, if they don't want to unload your truck, they'll throw a tip attachment.
Wow.
If they want to, or if you get your truck loaded, they'll throw a tip attachment. Or if they running that forklift too hard up in your trailer, because we own our own equipment. Hey, you need to quit running that forklift in that wide open on my floor before you test something up. There's gonna be some problem. I'm gonna tell you, it's so much we done ran across out here, y'all. I could write a book. But here's the thing. Our license, CDL license, are fragile. They do not want Negroes having CDLs.
Mm-hmm.
So you have what we call a DOT officer, Department of Transportation officer. These are your state troopers. These are the ones that work your weigh station that make sure your trucks are not overweight and inspect your trucks and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We get harassed more than any other nationality of people that drive trucks in America. The black people do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we can be driving down the road, he could be sitting in the middle. He'll look. I let 3 or 4 white guys pass me, and when I pass him, he'll pull me over. Or when we go through the weigh station, it'll be 3 or 4 white folks in front of me, and they'll pull me around back.
Wow. And I bet you their loads are probably above where it should be, but they get left alone about it.
Yeah, and they a nitpick. It's like they'll do a DOT inspection, so it's a level 1. They got level 1, level 2, level 3, but I'm just gonna describe level 1 where it's just basic. Where they check your lights, your tires, stuff like that, right? Windshield wipers. I ran out of washer fluid. You know that Peckerwood wrote me up for that.
What?
I'm talking about the petty stuff that were put just to mess your license up. They'll write you up for it.
That is ridiculous. Come on. Windshield washer fluid.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Your air horn better work. Your city horn better work. I'm talking about everything better work. Everything you better for us. What it does, at least for us, it puts a pressure on black people. Like it makes my blood pressure go up. So for me to do my job and be safe at it, that's why I drive at night.
Uh-huh.
The only reason I'm driving right now is because those heathens down there in Florida got me loaded late last night. So that's why I'm driving now to get home.
Wow.
But,
is it changed down there in Florida since DeSantis been the governor for you? Or is it about the same? You going in and out of there?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's the same. Ain't nothing changed. They still ignorant down there. So,
Yeah.
so yeah, that's why a lot of us drive at night. That's why when you see these trucks out at night, it be us.
Now, Big Mike, how is it as far as areas you got to go in that got hit with hurricanes?
Oh yeah, like what was that hurricane, Lisa, that hit down there? Not this year, but a couple of years ago, right where Sarasota got hit this time, but right below that, it's called. I know it's Sarasota. It's It's right between Sarasota and Naples.
Uh-huh.
I forgot the name of the hurricane, but anyway, Lisa, let me tell you something. That hurricane was so powerful. I'm inland. I'm going to Arcadia, Florida, to Walmart, DC. It was big yachts and boats all the way inland.
Wow.
Y'all,
Yeah.
I'm telling y'all, to see the destruction on TV don't do it no justice. When you down there in person, you get to see it. You be like, the Most High one playing with these heathens. When I
Yeah.
say he stripped the draws off of them, he strips the draws off of them.
Yeah. You know, Big Mike, this year they said was probably the worst in 20 years with these hurricanes. And see, what I was trying to tell everybody, because some people think, oh, it's only a category 1. A category 1 can still be deadly because it brings a lot of water, rain, a lot of the surge that comes from the ocean, and you can literally still drown to death in a category 1. You know, and
Right.
when you really think about really, a hurricane is no joke at any category. It can wipe out whole towns at a category 1. It can take a whole town out. It's no joke. I mean, I look at sometimes those videos where you could see people that try to get out of town, but they get stuck on the roads, you know, and they literally are stuck there through the entire hurricane.
You remember years back, not it was about maybe 6 years ago. You remember when we had that tornado outbreak down south? Well, we was just getting tornadoes after tornadoes after tornadoes. But
Yes.
anyway, that's when Smithville, Mississippi got leveled. I'm talking about, Lisa. That's an all-white town, sundown town. When I tell you, when we drove through there after that thing hit, to see them heathens come out their house with their drawers stripped off their ass was epic.
Oh man, it's just like up there in North Carolina when Hurricane Helene hit North Carolina. Big Mike, I was on TikTok watching them videos. Them folks were crying from their cars, saying my house gone. All I got is the vehicle I'm sitting in and the clothes I got on my back. I was sitting there going, oh my goodness. I ain't eat all week. I ain't got no food. I was just blown away at the videos that came out. Them folks literally had nothing but the clothes on their back.
Well, he took the clothes off their back.
Yeah.
He took the clothes off their back and their house and their belongings and threw it all out there in the woods.
Wow.
Lisa, I'm watching tennis shoes, heathen pantyhose, bras. I'm talking about raining out the sky.
Wow.
That was an L5 tornado.
Mm-hmm.
That very same year, after that tornado hit, this during the outbreak, same outbreak, that's when it hit Tuscaloosa. It hit Birmingham, outside of Birmingham, and it hit Coleman, Alabama. That sundown town up there. If y'all just start doing research when these tornado outbreaks hit, start doing research on these towns. A lot of these towns that the Most High hit be sundown town, and a lot of the towns he hit was slave ride. What you call them? What they go at? What we go at one another? What they call them? Massacres. When they massacre a lot of our people. Like, I'm gonna give you an example. You remember Mayfield, Kentucky, when that L5 tornado came through there?
Yes.
Mayfield, Kentucky. Well, guess what? It was a race war at Mayfield, Kentucky.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it was a race war there. So
it's amazing, Big Mike. I'm glad you're bringing that up because it's amazing all the stuff that you can find out about towns where riots happened. like Wilmington, North Carolina, and
Mm-hmm.
a lot of Black descendants had filed lawsuits to get their land and property back from the white folk. And come to find out, the white people that got properties there don't even have a deed. You know why they don't have a deed? Because those were the properties they stole from the Black people they massacred. And they're
Sure
all in
did.
these property and don't have a deed to they can't produce one single deed for the properties that they're on.
You remember that video they brought out? That black kid was walking through that neighborhood and them white men were messing with him.
Yeah.
That was in Florida. That was Sarasota, Florida. I go to Sarasota all the time. I did not know Sarasota, Florida was a sundown town. Well, it ain't. Half of it ain't standing today because the Most High sent Milton and he leveled it.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, I remember Hurricane Milton. Yeah. Yeah, that
And
was
you know what? A lot of people don't talk about Milton, but Milton was something to see because I was in Miami and Milton was scheduled. I was in Miami that Monday. Milton was scheduled to hit that Wednesday. I'm coming up out of Miami that night, and I get to coming out of Florida. I mean Miami's Lisa. You got the Florida Turnpike, and you got I-95. Well, I take the Florida Turnpike up to Orlando, up to I-75, and come back out that way. So anyway, I get to I-75. Man, when I tell you to watch them heathens come, I'm talking about that highway was packed. It took me 10 hours to Florida.
Mike, you're cutting in and out now. Okay, can you repeat what you said because we couldn't hear you. Your mic kind of faded out. Okay, I think you're having some issues with your mic. Yeah, I think he's having issues with his mic. Yeah, no, it's no joke when they get hit with those hurricanes and tornadoes. I've seen a lot of damage from it, and the only hurricane I've ever lived through was Sandy, and that was bad enough. A couple of people around me were killed from Sandy, so it's no joke. That's why I kind of chuckle when I see people saying, "Oh, it's only going to be a Category 1." And then the Category 1 will wipe out a big portion of the town that they're in. No, the Most High, he created these storms, and these storms can be deadly. Look, snowstorms can be deadly. We have those nor'easters, and them things can be deadly, especially if it knocks out power and you're in the kind of house that got electric heat and the temperature goes down in single digits. Yeah, it can kill people. That mess ain't no joke. Look at what happened in Texas a few years ago when they got slammed. And then on top of getting slammed, they lost power in a whole big part of the state. And all them folks died, babies died. And you can tell Texans were not used to going through it because you would hear stories of them bringing grills in the house. You can't bring grills in the house. And see, up here in the Northeast, you won't hear about people doing that. You won't hear about people bringing a grill in their house and trying to cook because we know that doesn't work. But if you're not used to that and you don't know, so many of them that did that ended up dying. You bringing all that carbon monoxide and smoke and all that stuff in your house, you can't do that. And we already know that in the Northeast. We already know you can't, them outdoor grills, you got to leave them outdoors. You can't bring them in your house and try to cook from them. But when I heard that the Texans, the people in Texas were doing that, I knew instantly they were not used to what they were going through. And them being vulnerable was the reason why, I think it was over 200 of them that died during that period when it went down real cold and they got hit with the snow and everything. You can always tell when people aren't used to it because they don't know what to do, or the things they do, they don't realize could actually end their life. So, I mean, I understand, people were hungry and they wanted to eat. They wanted to do, try to survive, but outdoor grills are called outdoor grills for a reason. You absolutely can't bring that in your house. Hmm. Yeah. I think the most eerie thing after we went through Hurricane Sandy, after all the destruction happened, it was a double rainbow over New Jersey right after the hurricane was over. In fact, they took a picture of it. You probably see it in the publications online. It was a double, it was almost like the Most High said, okay, I'm done kicking your butt. Now you can look up at this rainbow and know who did this to you. That's how I saw it. Now you know who did this to you. I did this to you. I mean, it was beautiful looking at a double rainbow. I don't see them that often, but it was a double rainbow over the state after Sandy kicked our behinds up and down all over the place. Yeah, they didn't know what to do because you can tell they have never gone through that kind of cold snap in Texas, and they really did not know what to do. And people were not prepared. They didn't have no heat. Many of them, you could tell, did not have generators where they could turn on a backup generator and get power to their homes. They didn't have any of those things. And the infrastructure pretty much crumbled down there in Texas when all of that happened. And I never in my life thought I would see a day where it was colder. And the thing is, it was colder in Texas than it was in the Northeast. I never thought I would see that. But that did occur. Texas was colder than where I was in New Jersey when that happened. And I felt bad because we saw so many of our people just crying for help on camera. But the thing that was outrageous was they kept the rich people in Texas power on. But the people that were not in those rich neighborhoods, they were sitting in the dark with no power. And that just didn't make any sense to me. Oh, our power grid sucks. That crazy bitch. Our power grid is so bad. Before Hurricane Sandy hit, they sent, and I remember I got an email. They sent an email telling us there was a possibility it would take weeks or even months, or there's a possible chance they wouldn't get the power grid back up at all. It was so old and outdated. And do you think they improved the power grid since then? No. They know these power grids are out of date and they're about to fail, and they're not doing anything to fix the infrastructure. They're not doing a thing. They haven't done nothing to improve it where I am. But they'll tell you, oh, you could be out for weeks or even months, but they don't fix nothing. So, y'all, I've been on here way longer than I thought I would be on here. way longer. So I do want to thank Alexandra Wilson Sturgeon for sending the Cash App. And I also, Big Mike is back. Hold on. Let me see if I can get him back on. Big Mike, are you there?
Oh, I'm here. I got a phone call knocked me off. I'm on my phone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, you were talking about the hurricanes.
Yeah, I forgot what I said.
You got cut off.
Yeah, I forgot which part I was talking about that. Oh, yeah. Sarasota, Florida was a sundown town that got hit by Milton. But yeah, I never seen a hurricane like Milton spin tornadoes.
Yeah, didn't they say there were like 34 tornadoes in Milton? I
Yeah,
think it
yeah,
was
in
some
Florida.
ridiculous number.
Yeah, it was up there. It was up in the 30s.
Hmm. Yeah, but you
So the
know what?
weather.
Those hurricanes come with everything. I know, even Hurricane Sandy that hit New Jersey, they said had hurricanes in it. It's the hurricanes, it's the wind, it's the rain. I mean, it's just all devastating. It really truly is.
Yeah, got the wrong face on here. Got my brother face on here. There we
Oh,
go.
okay. Okay.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
share the same stream yard. He got his picture. Sometimes his picture show up. Sometimes mine show up.
Hmm. Well, Big Mike, when did you get your CDL license?
I've been doing this for 20 years. So 20 years ago, from the date.
Okay. Okay. Wow.
I was at 2000 and what is it? 2024? What,
Yeah.
2005? Is that right? Would that be right? 2004?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're almost in 2025. That's for sure.
Yeah, it don't even feel like I've been driving that long.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, the time goes by fast. It really does. I
yeah,
mean, years, and then didn't the Most High said he would speed up the time? It sure feels like it.
yeah. I got to choke my oldest son. I'm just 41, and I said I still consider myself a young man, and my son done made me old before my time.
Oh man.
He done made me a granddaddy.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I said, Lord, boy, we done talked about this. I said, he's 19. My oldest son, 19. So he done made me a granddad. I said, did you see what Daddy went through when he was when did you see how hard my life was, son? You see the baby mama drama your mama put me through?
Oh man.
And you used to laugh when she used to scold your daddy. I said,
Mm.
guess what? I won't get to laugh at you now.
Wow. Mm.
But I'm excited to be a granddaddy. Don't get me wrong. I just didn't want to be one this early.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's good. I get to enjoy him and watch him be grown if it be the Lord's will.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, Big Mike, what did you think about Joe Biden pardoning his son, Hunter Biden?
I didn't have no problem with it.
Yeah, I wasn't shocked that he did it. You know, I mean, don't these people always aren't they always flexing their privilege anyway? I mean, Joe Biden is no
Yeah.
different.
Yeah, because my wife asked me the same question that you just asked me. And I was like, no, I wouldn't have pardoned him. She said, so you wouldn't pardon Eli? I said, yeah, I pardon Eli. I said, I see where you're going. I said, well, he got the power to do it. I don't see nothing wrong. Well, it's wrong because she's not supposed to do that. So I thought according to the law. But hell, these people don't follow no law.
No, they never have and never will.
But
They
check
think
this, Lisa. Me and Warriors, the guy you just had on, that's my partner. We was talking the other day, me and Brother Warriors, and he went through the prison system and he's a felon or whatever. In certain jobs he can't get. What I said, Warriors, I think y'all should be able to file a lawsuit because if Donald Trump could be president with those 34 counts or 36 counts of felons that he got, why should y'all be discriminated against getting a job and he could be president?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, that's what I was saying. I said, should that even be on applications? Are you a felon? Well, why should that matter now? You got a felon as a president.
And I would use that against these employers. That we can't hire felons. Well, y'all got y'all voted one in. Y'all hired him. Hire me.
Right.
I think that's a lawsuit. That's
I
just
think
me
so
thinking.
too, Big Mike. And I said that. I said, is it right for them to even do a background check? Donald Trump don't even want a background check done on his cabinet picks.
Yeah.
No, he want to pick these people and just say they're qualified when they're not qualified. And the thing is, we're supposed to just go along with this.
Yeah, you can enforce the law on people that look like me, but you would not enforce the law on people that look like you. And don't think people don't see that.
Right. Look, Big Mike, you know there's a chance your grandbaby can look just like you. This is Muhammad Ali's grandson. Look at him.
Wow, he look just got the little hair thing in the middle of his head and everything.
Yes, this is Layla Ali, his daughter. This is her son. He's a spit of Muhammad Ali. The funny part is, if you see his biological father, he looks more like Muhammad Ali than he looks like his biological father. And I said, this right here just proves how a certain look can go down through the generations. In my
that's
family,
crazy.
In my family, Big Mike, I look more like my mother's sisters than any of my female cousins. And I said, it's just a certain look that passes down through the generations. And Muhammad Ali, it just goes to show you, them genes were strong. It showed up on his grandson.
Man, that's crazy.
Ain't that though? He's a
Man,
grown
that's a
man
blessing.
now. In this picture, he was still a teenager, but he's a grown man now. Yeah, you should have seen him. Muhammad Ali took a picture with him when he was still a toddler, and he put his boxing gloves on him, and it was uncanny, even as a toddler, how much he looked like Muhammad Ali.
Man, I'm just lost for words. I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
Because you know how we Lisa, we love our loved ones that have passed on, right?
Yeah.
And to have a resemblance of a child that looks like the mother or that looks like the father or the grandfather or I mean, that's a blessing to me, because my daddy looked like his daddy and I look like my daddy, so on, so on. And I can still see certain features of my grandmother and my sisters,
Yeah. Ain't that something? And I said, wow, it just goes to show you, you can look at somebody from the past and they can literally show up on a child that's running around today, and this is your proof right here. I said, if you would have put him next to a young Muhammad Ali, you would have probably thought they were brothers or at least twins,
Yeah, all my aunties say I look like Uncle Paint would be my great uncle. I never met him because he had passed on by the time I showed up. But yeah, they call me Uncle Paint. That's what my aunts call me, Uncle Paint.
Wow.
Yeah. And we pick up on our loved ones' mannerisms that have passed on. Like my mama say, a lot of my mannerisms remind me of her father.
Yeah. I mean, that's why, when we talk about reparations, we talk about all the trauma that has been passed down through the generations among our people. Yeah. And that trauma is real. It exists even to this day. That's very true. That is very true.
Yeah. So when they say we were created in the image and the likeness, I believe that. Of the Most High and our loved ones.
Right. Yep. We sure are. Boy, I'm just looking forward to that day where these people look up and our Messiah comes back and he's a dark melanated man. They said their hearts will be faint. They will just die right on the spot just looking at him. Woo! I said, boy, I can see.
I don't. When you know how you do a crime and or you do something bad, but the punishment don't just happen right away, or it may
Yeah.
take some time for you to get that judgment or whatever.
Uh-huh.
That I mean, I see why the Most High just don't completely just drop the hammer on these folks. He want these when he show up, he want these folks to really think they got away with it.
Yes. Yes. And that's all through scripture, where they got this
Uh-huh.
mindset that nothing's going to happen to me, or they laugh and chuckle at the thought that they're going to have to pay. You know, trust me, that laughter is going to turn to tears when they realize what's going on.
Yeah,
Their
you know
laughter ain't going to be there
that
for good.
you know that Isaiah 14:21 is very a hard hitting scripture. Prepare slaughter for his children,
Yes.
for the iniquity of his fathers, that they do not rise nor possess the land. That's a hard hit script.
It sure is. You know, just like when they attempt to build cities, once they're in captivity, all the stuff you see happening to us is going to happen to them. But remember, they get double. I can't even look at how bad things have been for us. I can't imagine a double dose of that. That is like insanity. Just to think
Yeah.
about that.
When the Most High said, when they got to drink that cup, they own cup, like it, because you know we had to drink our cup of iniquity.
Mhm.
When they got to drink that cup, I mean, y'all, I mean, we just know what we know. Just think about what we don't know what they did.
Right.
That the Most High know that they did.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want to know. I want to know the stuff that you know that I want to know what they really, you know, the stuff that we only know about but don't know about. That's what I want to know, Lisa.
Yeah. Yeah. You know. Well, Queen Mommy, actually, I heard Putin got a lot more than that. He showed the portraits, but he has a lot more than just those portraits. That was what he was willing to show. It was what he was willing to show, but there's actually more. And I believe that.
Oh man, he's sitting on a gold mine over there in Russia.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know, like any other place, Russia was one time a black country. It was all black. You know, so yeah, he would have a lot. I'm sure there's a lot of history that he has in his possession that we just haven't seen yet.
Yeah, you know the scriptures say in Romans chapter 1, they, or is it 2? They I think it's 1. They hold the truth in unrighteousness.
Mm-hmm.
When you hold the truth of who these people really are, of the Negro, man, woman, and child, and you just hold that truth in the Vatican, in that vault down there they got. They holding all that information.
Yep.
Putin holding on all that information. They holding the truth in unrighteousness.
Right. And just to get you to not think about it, oh, we burnt all that up. No, they didn't burn up anything, y'all. It, like Big Mike said, it's right there at the Vatican. It's not burnt up. They just took it and shipped it over there, whatever they found.
Yeah. You go in the lost books of, if y'all need to read the letters of Pontius Pilate, you know the coat that Jesus had on. Pontius Pilate took that coat. And with
Mm-hmm.
that coat itself, it had special powers. Y'all go read that book. I ain't gonna give it away, but this is what I'm going with it. Think about where is that coat at today? Where y'all think that coat at
Mm-hmm.
of our Messiah? Where you think the spirit that appears to be the side?
Now, didn't it also said Nimrod also wore a garment that gave him power? I'm almost positive it did. I got to
Well,
go back.
come to find out, Lisa, that's right. You're right. But come to find out, Auntie, guess where they found it at? They found. You remember that so-called Iraqi war? They found it in Iraq. They found that shroud and Nimrod bones.
Wow. I believe it. Yeah, I believe it. Well, they said that's why, like the Syrian war, they have a lot of artifacts in Syria, and it's all melanated people up in their museums. They said you would be astonished at how many melanated artifacts, like dark-skinned brothers, are on their artifacts in Syria, but they just won't show it to you. I've been hearing that for years.
Yeah, but anyway, Pontius Pilate, he had to go before Rome for the slaying of Christ. And when he got to Rome, you know what that Roman emperor told him? What did you do? Why did you kill the Son of God? Don't you know what kind of turmoil and hell you brought up on us? Because when Christ died, remember this, y'all. When Christ died, there was a big earthquake. It wasn't just not a Jerusalem earthquake. This was a worldwide earthquake.
Yeah.
And the Roman emperor was, every time he go see the Roman emperor and his council, they were going to slay Pontius Pilate. But every time he go in there with that coat on, he forget. So the fourth time he came back, he made him take that coat off, and he remembered to kill him.
Yeah.
But and he took that coat, and I want to know where that coat is today. I know where that coat is. It's in the Roman. It's down there. They got it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. These people are a trip. but to this very day will look you in the face and tell you you're a Hamite. I even heard it a couple of weeks ago. I was listening over there on Big Judah, and they were over, telling them, oh, y'all are a bunch of Hamites. I said, y'all still on that mess? We already know we're not Hamites. But I guess if they think they can get away with us believing that, that's what they'll do. Try to convince you that's what you are, a Hamite.
I mean, that's fine. I mean, we don't need their validation on anything.
We sure don't.
We already know the truth.
Right. It's not their book. So it's nothing for them to validate. It's not their book.
Because the day coming where they're going to have to bow down and kiss our feet. But I don't want them kissing my feet. You may give me gangrene or something. Hell, I don't want you kissing
I don't want them kissing my feet either. They can just get on the auction block so I can make my money. I don't need no feet kissing. Oh no.
Yeah, and, I was watching a video this morning where the Dutch president was apologizing for their government participating in the slave trade.
Right, but he didn't want to do nothing beyond that. He just wanted to apologize and not do anything like restitution.
And I did not know. Well, I should have known because we scattered through the four corners. It's a lot of black people in Amsterdam and the Netherlands and
all over.
All up in there.
I used to briefly, Big Mike. I lived over in Germany, and there were a lot in Germany too. There's a lot of melanated people there, all over Europe. They just don't get seen, but they are definitely there. A lot of soldiers from World War I and World War II did not want to come back to all the racism. So many of them brothers stayed over in Europe. Why do you think there's so many mixed race people over there? Because a lot of the soldiers didn't come home. They didn't want to come back to all the racism. So they ended up living there and taking the wives, the Gentile women as wives, and they spent the rest of their lives over there instead of coming back to the U.S.
Yeah, because when I think of Amsterdam and Rotterdam and all them little countries, Sweden, see, I think of lily white people. I think of lily white houses. Hell, the food is white. Everything just white over there. That's what I think.
And not entirely.
But I did. Yeah, when I watched that, I was watching that brother's video and this morning, and I said I was amazed that it's a large African presence of people, of black people in those regions over there.
Yeah, and and Big Mike, even back when I was over there in Germany, there were a lot of empty homes. they could not get rid of. And back then I didn't piece it together. The reason why Germany is filled with so many empty homes is because they got a population problem even back then. They didn't have enough people there, physically there, to buy all the homes. So it was not unusual for you to walk down the street and every single home that's standing on the street is empty, because they were not reproducing even back then, but they weren't talking about it back then like they are today. And I did not piece it together. I was like, why are there so many empty homes here? It's almost like some towns, almost the whole town was empty. And that was why
Wow.
they were not reproducing even back then. That's why there were so many empty homes everywhere. Yes. You know, a lot of times people left out of places where they were bombed. So, and they never went back. So a lot of those towns are empty. And on top of that, they were not reproducing. They weren't having babies. And that's why I bet it's even worse now than when I was over there. But like I said, nobody was talking about their decline in birth back then, but it was going on. They just weren't talking about it.
You know, T, you know, it's for channels like yours and True Roll and other channels, but especially mainly yours, that really taught me about the liberal white woman in America, the liberal woman, that the democratic liberal woman.
Mm-hmm.
And I was trying to educate my auntie and my wife about Kamala Harris being president. So, and I said, y'all look back when Donald Trump ran against Hillary. If they didn't nominate her to be in the White House to be president, what makes you think that Indian woman was going to get in that White House? And I told them before the election started, I said the liberal white woman is not going to vote for Kamala Harris.
No, and she didn't. And she didn't. You know, and they'll tell you, why did Trump win? Because he got the Latino vote and he got the white woman vote.
That's
and of
right.
course, white men are going to vote for Donald Trump. You know, he's a white male, as other white males are going to vote for him. But that was the reason why he won. She did not have the support of white women. She didn't.
Yeah, that's that liberal, dangerous beast of a woman on this planet is the liberal white woman. She can play both sides of the field of being a conservative white woman, but that liberal, I'm telling you, she know how to get next to the black woman.
Yes.
And what I mean by that, family, she know how to pull your strings if you allow her to. Or what I'm saying, she know how to run game on you. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, she know how to run game on her man too.
Yeah. So, thanks to your channel and True, putting me on game about the liberal white woman and white woman in general, I seen it from a mile away. If they ain't gonna nominate their own Hillary Clinton, I know they ain't finna vote for her. So I knew she lost from the start.
And you should know the the patriarchal system is the reason why they have, white supremacy today. So at the end of the day, girlfriend is going to vote white supremacy. She's not going to vote for anybody like Kamala. And because you got to listen to the way they're talking. I was looking at one video. This guy probably was in his 60s. He said, we voted for Trump so Trump could save us. In other words, save white supremacy. That's what he said. He looks at Trump as some kind of savior. And
but the
look,
moral of the story is, go ahead, Auntie. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. That's okay, Big Mike. I said, if a man can't save himself from 34 indictments, how is he going to save you? That's all I'm saying. I don't see how he can save anybody. He can't even save himself.
Yeah, that liberal white woman is going to uphold her heathen man's, whether he right or wrong, and he's always wrong. She going to uphold her man and white supremacy now.
Right.
And I hope let that be a lesson to all of us. Y'all seen it firsthand in this election. The
Hmm.
United States didn't go red just like that. That was the liberal white woman that made it go red
Right.
with the Latino vote.
Hmm. Yeah. Them dummies didn't even know what a tariff was, Big Mike. They didn't know what- I was like, how the hell did, yeah, he's going, and I'm looking at it, they said, do you know what a tariff is? And they're standing there with a MAGA hat on saying, yeah, the other country pays the tariff. They said, no, dummy, you pay it. You pay the tariff, not the foreign country. It's like, these people don't even know what they're voting for. They really, truly don't know.
Yeah, my cousin sent me a video, and he talking about he gonna join the passport brother movement. He gonna be a passport brother. I said, you better stay your ass off up around them other countries. You gonna
Yeah.
come up stinking. And he
Mhm.
gonna send me a video of them white women over there in Germany and Sweden. I love you, black man. I love you, black man. I said, man, why would you send me there? I said, oh my God. I said, you got white people. I said, boy, you grow your butt over there if you want to. Talk about I love you, black man. I love you, black man. I love to lynch you, black man. I love to eat you, black man.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they'll do. You'll be on somebody's dinner plate. Oh, y'all. You know, the eating is very different over in Europe. I remember the first time I went in a German supermarket and I looked down and they had a wrapped up pigeon in the meat department. You know where the meat were. I looked down. I was like, "What the hell?" It was a pigeon. So they eat a lot differently than we eat over here. But yeah, they sold pigeons for meat in their meat department, and that's a very common thing over there. You know, a pigeon, what we call a rat with wings, because that's what they really are. Yeah, they eat those over there. They eat
Yeah.
them.
Well, they eat different up there in that northeast anyway. I put up, everything down south, is fried okra, fried corn, fried green tomato. Everything down here just about fried in
Hmm.
the south. I went up there. I'm looking at that menu. I said, I don't recognize shit on this damn old menu. Clam chowder.
Oh
Now, what the
yeah.
hell is that? What the
Uh,
hell is this?
yeah, yeah, it is different up here. It wasn't
Yeah.
different in my house because both of my parents are from Georgia. So we still ate Southern style food in the household, you know?
Yeah, I'm sitting here. What else they like? Is very popular in Maryland. Crab cakes or something. Crab
Crab
something.
cakes, yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. I wasn't in the truth then, but yeah, those crab cakes were pretty good.
Hmm.
I, but y'all have the best pizza on the planet is on the
Yeah,
East Coast. I don't care what nobody
yeah.
say.
The
And the
pizza
best
is the
Philly
best.
steaks are in Philly.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Lisa, I
Yeah,
used to
that
break
is
my
true.
neck. I used to break my neck when I used to go to Philadelphia and deliver all the time. I used to break my neck at those little food trucks that used to sell
Hmm.
those Philly's cheesesteak sandwiches.
Yes.
I used to stop my truck in the middle of the street to get one of them Philly steaks.
It was that cheap, huh? Yeah, yeah.
Man,
I
he
grew
dipped
up
that
on
whole
those.
sandwich. He
Yeah,
dipped that
big.
whole sandwich in that white cheese. I said, they don't do it like that at home.
Let me tell you something. I grew up on those sandwiches, boy, because we used to have a corner store on the end of our block, and that's what they did. They made cheesesteaks, hoagies, hamburgers, anything you want. We all went in there, had cheesesteaks all the time. And they always tell you when they put that cheesesteak in the bag, if that bag ain't greasy, that ain't a good cheesesteak. You need a greasy bag. You got to have them grease stains on the bag in order for that to be a good cheesesteak.
Man, he used to wrap my bag in 2 bags because it'll fall through the paper bag. You don't
Yeah,
watch it.
yeah, yeah.
That's how greasy it be, family. Hey, I'm telling you, Lisa, pizza and cheesesteak.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I miss. I'm getting hungry now.
Yeah, yeah. I grew up in Philly, and yeah, the pizza was not quite as good. When we moved to New Jersey, the pizza was off the charts. It was way better.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
I used
it's
to.
amazing. You go to one state, it tastes one way. You go to another state, it tastes a whole different way. I mean, if you go even from New Jersey down to Georgia, you can taste the difference in the food. It even have a different taste.
Mhm.
That is very true.
And boy, and when I got to DC, we used to live into a furniture place there, and down the street was a Jamaican restaurant where they had jerk chicken and stuff like that, and jerk
Mhm.
oxtails. Oh my God, Lisa! I used to spend about $40 with that man. I said, give me 2 plates of oxtails and 2 plates of jerk chicken.
Now you mean to tell me you were in DC and you never tried the mumbo sauce?
No, I don't even know what that is.
You never had. That's the thing DC is famous for. Came from black folk. You can
Never
get it
had it.
spicy, you can get it spicy, or you can get it like a combination of sweet and spicy. That mumbo sauce is off the hook. It is so good, Big Mike. I got it at my house. I'll make chicken and put some mumbo sauce on it. Put mumbo sauce on it.
Hey, you got me curious now.
Yeah, if you go to DC, get something with mumbo sauce on it. You will love it.
Yeah,
That is
and
very famous in DC. You ain't gonna go to DC and not find one person that don't know what mumbo sauce is. They all know what it is.
what I like about the East Coast up there, y'all love y'all soups. Like you can find any variety of doggone soup up there. See, down
Yeah.
south you only gonna get one type of soup. That's beef soup or vegetable soup. Up there,
Oh,
they got
okay.
some soups I ain't never heard of. I'm like, let me try, and it'd be pretty good. It'd be pretty
Mm-hmm.
good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Oh
I
yeah.
like going to the Wawa up there. Cause I get some soup, good soup at the Wawa.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
If I'm
Wawa's there. In fact, there's a Wawa right around the corner from where I am. Yeah, there's Wawas are everywhere in New Jersey. They are
I bet
everywhere.
I bet the people in the chat like Wawa. What the hell is Wawa? It's a gas station, restaurant,
Yeah.
all in one thing.
It used to be a convenience store, and there were small ones all over the place. They weren't close by, but now they're a convenience store combo gas station, and that's a lot of them up here. But see, I still like the South. Y'all got those waffle houses all over the place. I do like the waffle house. Y'all got those waffle houses. We don't have that. The only time I would see a Waffle House, once we start getting down there around Maryland and further into the South, then we start seeing the Waffle House all over the place.
Yeah. And you show right, Lisa, because you sure don't see no Waffle House in New Jersey and
Wow.
Connecticut and on up through there. You don't see that.
You got to go down
But
south to see
you know,
those.
I tell you a nasty restaurant they need to get rid of. They call it what? Roy Rogers, or Roger
Roy
Jr.
Rogers?
What they?
Oh, I don't go there. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I don't go.
That's some horrible. I said fried chicken is not just like.
Yeah. The ones we had the Jimmy Dean restaurants. I don't know if you ever
Hey,
saw
y'all
that.
still have what's it called? Piccadilly? Perkins.
Perkins. Yes, we have Perkins. We got IHOP. We got IHOPs here.
Yeah.
Which is similar. Perkins and IHOPs are practically the same as far as I'm concerned. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have Perkins down south no more. They all gone. And we
Oh,
got
okay.
IHOPs.
No,
I
yeah,
was
I
still
remember
shocked to see
Roy
that.
Rogers. Yeah, I remember Roy Rogers. We had a Roy Rogers not far. It's now called Arby's. Back in the day, our Roy Rogers used to be where our Arby's restaurant is. Paula Dean. Yeah, Paula Dean had a restaurant, but it's not here where I am, but it was over in Philly. And one thing I noticed about her restaurant, Everybody in the back that was cooking for her were black. When they opened the doors of the kitchen, it was nothing but black people back there cooking. I said, yeah, that's why the food that was so good in Philly. I
And
didn't really
I used to
go
go
to the restaurant.
to upstate New York, and it's an Indian reservation up there off the I-90 Turnpike.
Uh-huh.
And what you do, you park. It's a fuel stop. Slide the casino on it. Anyway, us truckers are parked there. Call the shuttle bus for the casino. They used to come pick us up and take us to the casino. But anyway, reason we was going into the casino, they had very good food in there.
The buffet, yeah.
The buffet. Oh my God, Lisa. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Yeah. They had a couple of good ones, but they're gone now. They had a couple of them that were good. You know who didn't really have the best buffet? Trump. You know, I was shocked his casinos, they were okay. But some of the other ones that were there, they had some great buffets. But Donald Trump, his casinos, they were kind of, they were okay.
Oh,
They
okay.
really
I didn't
weren't
know
all
he had
that great.
casinos.
I guess their
Yeah.
focus was more on the casino and not really the buffet.
Well, I
You
tell
like
you, Lisa, they
Cracker
had
Barrel?
a
Oh God, I don't like Cracker Barrel. We got one around here. I never go there. I do not like. Maybe they're better where you are. Around me, I do. I can't. I don't do Cracker
Lisa,
Barrel.
y'all got a Cracker Barrel?
Yes, it's not
Oh,
a
I know
good
that
one
food.
though, Big
I
Mike.
know
It's
that
not
food,
good.
but Cracker Barrel is a Southern thing.
Yeah, we got one up here. We got a Cracker Barrel.
I think you'll love it better down south than
Maybe
up there.
so. Yeah, up here it's not good. Yeah, I remember Ponderosa. Yeah, I remember that. I remember
Ponderosa? Yeah, I
Ponderosa.
remember Ponderosa. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. Wow. But yeah, Cracker Barrel,
Shoney's.
y'all. Oh man, y'all must have better ones where because the one here in New Jersey is terrible. Y'all must have better ones where you are.
Oh man, my wife, man, I had to put her on a budget.
And I remember Shoney's. I remember we had a Shoney's, but we
Oh,
don't have
Shoney's. Oh my
yeah.
God. That was the spot after the club. Shoney's used to stay open 24 hours where I'm from.
Yeah.
And they start the breakfast buffet back over at 12 midnight.
Wow.
Boy, we come out of that club and you talking about that thing be paid. Man, those were the good old days.
Yeah, I remember we had a Shoney's and it was here for a few years, and then they went out of business.
The
They went out
last
of
standing
business.
Shoney's I seen was 2 years ago, and that was in Roanoke, Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
That's the last. That's the all the Shoney's down south. They gone.
Yeah, that's the Roanoke, Virginia is where Henrietta Lacks was from. She was from Roanoke, Virginia.
I go through Roanoke all the time. I was in Roanoke Monday.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I remember going through there when we would drive down south. You know, you see all those signs on the road, you know, traveling and all. I remember seeing Roanoke.
Yep, right there at the 150.
Y'all got a Shoney's in Michigan? Wow. Our Shoney's, I think, left like back in the 90s. I haven't seen a Shoney's in New Jersey since.
Yeah, I Shoney's left like in the early 2000s.
There was still one in Georgia. When I went for my grandma's funeral, we went down there, and I think in 2008, and their Shoney's was still open in town. They were still doing business.
I take that back. The only Shoney's I seen down south was when I took my family to the Smoky Mountains. They got one up there in the Smoky Mountains, Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg.
Right.
Have you ever been to the Smoky Mountains?
No.
Oh,
No,
yeah, you need to
never
get down
been.
there and check that out. Oh, that's
Mhm.
nice. You need to check that out. I think you and your husband and family enjoy that.
Oh, okay. No, I have never been. I have
Yeah,
never been.
It's gonna be like you going into the Caucasus Mountains, but you enjoy it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I remember Sizzler, y'all. I used to go to Sizzler back in the day. I went to Sizzler a couple of times. We don't. That's another one of those restaurants we had once upon a time, and it's gone now. But I
But
remember.
Lisa, y'all have a lot of diners up there. That's something. That's a word you don't hardly hear no more. But
Yeah,
up there where you from, they have diners
diners
everywhere.
are everywhere. They still are. They're everywhere. They're practically on top of each other. It's so many of them. Yeah, that was like the big family-owned business back in the day, were the diners. And you go in there, oh, this is such and such family owns this diner, you know.
Oh yeah,
But we got them
yeah. That's.
everywhere. The diners are everywhere in New Jersey, everywhere.
But I have had some great food out of New Jersey. I used to make my mama so jealous about the food up there. I said, Mama, they got some good food up there. I said,
Mm,
you got to experiment, find out what you like, but hey, it's some good food up there.
hmm Yep, we still got. That's one thing we are not lacking in are diners. You can find, and many of them are 24 hours, and some of them will open at 6 a.m. and stay open until midnight. You know, they'll have real long hours.
And a big breakfast item up there, I noticed that at those diners and stuff like that up there that y'all got, they love corned beef and hash. If I'm saying that right, is it
Yes.
corned beef? They love that. Y'all love that up there.
hmm Yeah.
I was a big fan of that one.
Yeah, me either. But yeah, a lot of people up here like that. Yeah, the buffets were big around here at one time, but you see them, but you don't see them like you did even like 20 years ago. Buffets were everywhere, but now you don't see buffets so much. Not like you used to. Yeah. You can get good rates. And it's real cheap, especially if you get over 55, you get all the big discounts off the foods up in the diners. You get the senior citizens discount. I think they start at the age of 55 here in New Jersey. So if you're 55 on up, a lot of times you can get it off half price.
Oh yeah. Now the best barbecue is in Texas.
Oh, really? I believe that.
Woo, Lisa. I don't know what they got going on down there in Texas, but boy, I tell you, it's amazing. I ain't 700 pounds.
Yeah. Well, I can imagine the food you ate out on the road. Now, see, if you know where all the good places are, where did you ever stop and got the worst food and didn't like it?
The worst food is Louisiana.
Is it really? I'm really surprised to hear that.
Lisa, now listen, those of you on Lisa Channel from Louisiana, I'm sorry. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
man.
Big Mike is sorry. I love you. I promise you I do. But I got a testimony. Listen, Lisa, do not eat the gumbo. You better ask what's in that gumbo.
Wow.
I tried some gumbo down there. I stayed on the toilet for 18 days.
Are you kidding me?
Well, I'm exaggerating, but it felt like 18 days.
Oh my goodness.
You know what was in there?
No, what was it? Possum?
Possums,
Oh
shrimp,
my. Oh.
raccoon, alligator. Hey, I'm eating. I'm like, man, this is pretty good. Boy, when I asked what was in it, it was too late because I had already devoured it. It was spicy, like I like spicy food. And then and then they got this stuff down there called boudin. I was saying it wrong when I first got down there. I would call it booty. Give me some of that booty. It's called boudin. Oh, okay. Because they say stuff down there different. But anyway, I'm telling you, they eat the stuff. When I say they eat off the land down there, they eat off the land.
Wow.
They eat alligator gob. They love alligator gob. They eat alligators, snakes, uh, uh, everything from a hog, from the head down to the booty hole. They eat.
Wow.
I said, I can't do this. I can't deal with this.
Mm. Wow.
After I got sick eating that stuff down there, I got sick, man. No, I don't even eat in Louisiana.
Wow. Yeah, I'm really surprised. I thought, a lot of the southern states had the best food in the country.
But that's just the stuff that the people along the I-10 corridor eat. But now, if you like seafood, to me, Louisiana got the best seafood. You got, if you one of those seafood lovers, like your crab legs, they like to eat. Your shrimps, they like to eat. Your crawdads, what do you want to call them? They like stuff like that, Lisa.
Mm-hmm.
They A1 in that.
Wow.
The stuff that come out to sea, like your red snappers and the stuff that come out to sea that people like to eat, those they A1 on seafood. I'm just talking about stuff that you can't buy in the store, that you got to go out there and hunt.
Uh-huh.
You better ask what's in the gumbo. You better ask what's in that sausage.
We went down there in the swamp and caught ourselves. We caught ourselves an anaconda. That's what you're eating.
Yeah, they call it. They got sausage. They got gator sausage. They got. They'll make a sausage out of any animal.
Yeah, they made a sausage out of
convenience store.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, same place that made a sausage is out of black men.
No, don't say that.
Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, I just remember, where my father is from. He's from a place called Osceola, Georgia. And the big restaurant down there that everybody goes to is called the Catfish House.
Uh-huh.
And they said the food is off the charts. It's a black family, and I think they've been in business for probably about a good 60 years. It's a black family that owns it. And everybody that's around that county goes there. They said they got the best catfish in Irwin County.
Yeah, you ain't gonna beat the Southern fried catfish in any state. In any southern state, you're not gonna beat their catfish. You're not gonna beat their sweet tea. You're not gonna beat that fried chicken.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't gonna beat nothing down there fried.
Big Mike, you know why Big Mike, well, even when I was a child, I would not eat the catfish. One of my uncles loves catfish. He just loves the hell out of catfish. You know why I wouldn't eat the catfish, Big Mike?
Why is it?
I would not eat the catfish because I thought the catfish was so ugly, I would not touch them. Catfish are ugly to me.
Oh yeah,
they were so ugly, I would not eat them. And and then I later found out that's an unclean fish anyway because it has no scales.
Right, it's an unclean fish. And like I said, I was a big seafood lover. I used to eat the crab legs and the shrimps and the stuff like that. Love that stuff when I was eating it. But now that I know I'm an Israelite, and boy, me and the Most High had to have a talk. I said, Lord, you took the best food. I said, Lord, I love shrimps.
Mm-hmm. I remember one of my friends, her father used to love bluefish. And I told her, I said, bluefish don't have scales. You ain't supposed to be eating that. And she was like, oh, I know. My father just loves it. I said, see, when you see fish with no scales, those are usually your bottom feeders. They eat all the junk on the bottom of the, of the lake, the poop and excrement and all the stuff that comes from other fish. That's what they eat.
Catfish have menstruals.
Yeah, they have menstrual cycles. Yes. You ain't supposed to touch those kind of fish. There's a reason for that, y'all. I was never, like I said, the catfish was so damn ugly, I just couldn't eat it. And them suckers get big down south. I saw some of the ones they pulled out of the water. Oh my god, them catfish are ginormous.
Oh, Pick,
They're
right down
big.
here where I live
Uh-huh.
in Pickwick Lake, in Pickwick Dam, off the Tennessee River. Somebody had drowned, and they were swept up under the dam by those turbines that turn for the electricity, right?
Uh-huh.
And so they turned the dam off, to turn the turbines and stuff off, so they can go down there and get the body out of the water.
Right.
That man swam, them divers swam down there. When if you ever want to see a white man come up out that water and walk on water like he was Jesus, the catfish down there was so big. He wasn't his age when they took pictures. Y'all can see this online. They was big, like what's them little? I'm talking about big as cars, like not no car,
Yeah,
but
they get huge.
yeah, they get huge. I mean,
Yeah.
they'll swallow a human being.
Yeah, and they bite. I was looking at some of these white guys that went in the water. They went all the way in because when they catch them, they grab them.
That's called noodling.
And I'm telling you, this catfish was probably as big as this guy was kind of fat, and this catfish was just as big as he was.
Yeah, they
was
call
like,
it noodling.
yeah.
What they do, Lisa, they'll put food in a box, drop it in the water, and come back a couple of days later, and they'll swim down there and stick their hand in that box.
Uh-huh.
And that catfish will bite down on their hand, and they'll wrestle it out of the box, and bring it to the top. Yeah, uh-huh.
And I mean, you could hear them hollering in the water because they were getting bit by the catfish. You would hear them, ah! And I was like, I couldn't do that. I couldn't do it. I could not go down there with them catfish. It is just too scary. Now, I know people always talk about how scared they are of sharks. I'd be scared of them catfish.
Man, them
I'm
catfish.
serious. I'd be scared of them damn catfish.
Man, there's some catfish in the Mississippi River. Man, there's some big catfish out there, y'all. I'm telling you. I done seen them with my own eye. I'm talking about, man. Massive.
Yeah.
I done caught. The biggest catfish I caught was 35 pounds. And when I tell you that rascal drugged me all over that river in that boat, he was pulling the boat. That's how strong he was. I fought that thing for 2 hours.
Wow, that is yeah. That right there told you that was a big one.
And when we finally got him to the top, and I seen him, and my daddy seen him, and we just cut the line. I ain't no use wrestling that big ass up in him. He ain't no good.
Yeah, son, I know you wrestled for 2 hours, but you're going to have to let him go.
They said, you finna hurt my back trying to get him in here.
Wow.
I'm just estimating he had to be about 35, 30 pounds.
They look creepy, and they got them old big old whiskers on them and everything. Oh, no.
Yeah, his eyes were like they were about to pop out his head.
And those fish are dangerous, y'all. Any type of bottom feeding fish, those are fish that, they're always in survival mode. They're dangerous. That's why I don't be fooling. When I saw how them catfish are, that's why I said I ain't messing with them things. I got a couple of relatives that love to go fish. I can't recall if any of them were catching catfish. I mean, I know some of the other things they were catching, but not catfish.
Oh yeah, I love not catfish. I love fishing.
Yeah, there's a lot of pike in New Jersey. You said your granddad used to catch pike. Yeah, there's a lot of pike in New Jersey.
They got teeth, don't they?
Yeah. You go fishing here, yeah, there's a lot of it up here.
Yes,
I ate shrimp all the way up until not long after I had my son, and then one day I just couldn't eat shrimp anymore. And this was long before I got into the truth. It was amazing. I said, boy, the Most High turned that mess off before I got in the truth. I was no longer interested in eating shrimp.
Yeah, because see, where I'm from, we were raised on the hog and stuff like
Yeah.
that. It was hard for me to let pork go.
hmm Big Mike, when on my dad's side, my grandfather was a sharecropper, and that was his job. He raised the hogs, and I would hear him talking about it. And at first, I couldn't really follow the conversation because he'd be talking about the different kinds of hogs they were raising. And I remember he was saying that you only needed one male. The male mates with all of the female hogs. So you did not need a bunch of male hogs running away, running around. And whenever there were male hogs born, they would automatically castrate them. That way they wouldn't start fight, because the males would fight each other if you didn't do that. And those were your barrows. Your barrows were the ones that were castrated. He really got into telling us about it. It kind of went above my head because I was so young at the time. But yeah, and they called the male hog the boss pig. He was called the boss pig because he was really dominant over all the females and even the other males because they were castrated. So he pretty much he really was the boss out there. And he said, you only need one boss hog. That's it. You don't need no more but one male, because he'll mate with all the pigs. He'll mate with them multiple times.
Yeah, man, them pigs, they man, we got a problem with wild hogs where I'm from now.
Yeah,
Arkansas, Mississippi, Texas.
I saw in Texas they have a big problem with them.
Yeah, those pigs, they get loose and they turn wild. And they from pink, what color they turn? Black. They go back to their natural color.
Really?
Yeah.
Are they? How come so many are running around? They're not edible?
Oh, you can eat them. Well, they can eat them. Yeah, they eat them.
That's why I was like, I thought they were so big.
That's why they have a boss hog, and they don't let them other hogs that are male, they castrate them, because you ever heard somebody say, man, they be in there humping like pigs, humping like hogs.
Yeah,
hogs will have babies on top of babies.
Yeah, that's what my grandfather said. That's why he said you only need one male pig and a bunch of females. That's all you need. Man, I just can't imagine. Yeah, I saw how they were running around down in Texas. Man, there were so many.
Yeah, them things will eat you alive.
Yeah,
them things, they'll chase you and eat. And I'm talking about, they got them little tusks coming out their mouth. They hit you with their tusk. It'll cut you down to the bone.
Ew. They seem to have that problem in a lot of places. I even heard, like, in a lot of those Asian countries, they have a lot of them wild hogs running around in villages over there.
They killed a 65 pound wild hog in Georgia a couple of years ago. That was a big old hog.
Yeah, it sure is. 500 pounds. Damn. That's as big as a damn lion.
That rack was big, Lisa. That rack was big.
Wow. Ooh, that's big.
They everywhere there. I mean, in Texas, if you see them, shoot them on the spot.
Really? You said some of them are Wild Williams 454. You said some of them are 1,000 pounds. Now that is a big ass animal. 1,000 pounds? They get that big? Damn.
But see, they get out there in those corn fields. They love corn. They get out there in them corn. See, they rooting up those fields out in Texas. Texas is a farm state. They get out there in those fields, at least they eat all their corn. They eating all the soybeans, everything, and they in Florida they eating all the strawberries and and all the stuff they grow
See,
down
here
there year round.
in Big Mike here in New Jersey, they have that same problem with the deers. The deers will get into the crops and start eating the crops up. They have that same problem, but not with hogs, but with deers.
Yeah, them hogs that get out there in that cornfield, and once they start, at least they can eat a half an acre in a day. They eat a half an acre a day.
Woo! Yeah. But it's not unusual when we used to go in the back roads coming home. That's where a lot of the farmland is in New Jersey. And it's not unusual. You got to be kind of careful going down those roads because you'll see a crop and those deers will come running out of nowhere. They'll just run directly out of the crop, so you really got to kind of be on alert. It don't happen that often. And it seems like it happens more at night than during the day. They'll go up in those crops and start eating everything.
Yeah, the deers move at night. Man, them deers, man. Woo.
Yeah, it'll be herds of them running. It's a lot of deer in New Jersey. Man, a lot. It's a lot of them here. Probably as many deers as there are people. It's that many. But Big Mike, there was so many deers, they brought cougars in. And for a while, the sightings died down, but now a lot of people are saying they're seeing more cougars up in New Jersey, but they brought them in from Denver, Colorado, and they brought them here to control the deer population.
And another thing that we got going out of control with the animals, we got too many coyotes.
We got coyotes here in New Jersey.
I mean, I'll talk about Lisa. I could sit out there on my mother and father. They stay out in the country. I could sit out there on their patio deck at night, and that's all you hear is bark, bark. Them coyotes be out there howling and barking, howling and barking. Lord, but and man, and you can see them. Sometimes they'll come up in their backyard, and it be about 40 of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they come.
And
they
boy,
go.
They get on. They get on. You don't want them on you.
Dude, I got them bobcats too. We got the bobcats too.
Yep, we got bobcats. We got panthers. They call them black panthers. We got those. You barely ever seen a fox. Now I see foxes all the time.
Yeah, I see foxes all the time in New Jersey. I think the only thing that ever scared me, I had a friend in Salem County back in the day. And I went over there to see her. She was hanging clothes in the backyard. As we were talking, Big Mike, a mountain lion, came in the backyard and walked between us. I froze. I have never been around a mountain lion before in my life until that day. And he just casually just walked right between us as we were talking and kept right on going. It scared me half to death. I have never, them suckers are big. I never seen them in person before, but the one I saw that day was huge. And I'm glad he was not hungry. I'm glad when he came through that yard, he was not hungry. I was grateful for that.
And my first black bear I seen was in Virginia, in the country, in the countryside of Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first time I ever seen a little small black bear. They don't get big.
No, we got black and brown bears here in New Jersey, but the black ones really don't bother you. It's the brown ones that try to fight you. If it's a black bear, more than likely they'll just run away from you. They really won't bother you. The brown ones are a whole different story. Those suckers will fight humans.
Yeah, but now here's what trip you out. Now, if you want to experience National Geographic, go to Florida. Go to Florida.
Really?
You don't know what you don't know what's gonna run out there on the side of the road on you in Florida. You might see a black bear. You might see a wild hog. You might see a deer. You might see an alligator. You just might, and you will see what them little lizards, iguanas. Man,
yeah,
Lisa.
My uncle.
Oh my God!
All the time. Yeah, my uncle lives down there, and he said he see them iguanas all the time.
Man, I was like, what is that running across the highway? He kept running back and forth. Man, that big ass iguana.
Mm-hmm. When they get out of control, you know what they tell them, Big Mike? To eat them. To kill it and eat it.
And I was watching
on
I was watching on YouTube. I didn't know that Florida had a python problem.
Yes, somebody actually brought those into Florida because they're not native. And I remember when it happened, they said that they believe it was people that bought pythons as, as pets, and they just got too big and out of control, and they just took them and took them down there in those, where with the barrens down there.
Yeah, down there on the southern tip of Florida, down there.
Yeah, and they said they just threw them out there, and they just kept multiplying. But they're not native to the land. Those animals are not native to America, but they're here.
And he was saying on that show that those pythons, if they don't find another python to mate with, they'll mate with another snake.
Yeah.
Of another species.
Mm-hmm.
I said, hey, no telling what's down there in them woods. In them swamps down there.
Depending on what part of Florida you're in, they also got a problem with rhesus monkeys. I was looking at a video on that. They got an area, they said, that people can't even go into because if you go there, you get jumped by the rhesus monkeys. I was like, damn, you get jumped by a monkey? Damn.
Well, some monkeys got loose in South Carolina here last week.
I heard about that. Yeah,
I said
lab. I think
they got off a lab or something. Yeah,
I heard about that. Boy, I tell you, you don't know what these people are hiding. I remember a couple of years ago, some got loose, and I think they had some kind of disease, and they got loose from a lab. I said sometimes I think they let them things loose on purpose. I really do.
About 4 years ago, a kangaroo had got loose in Tupelo, Mississippi, where I'm from. Yeah, a kangaroo. They were looking for a kangaroo. It had got loose, and they ain't found that kangaroo.
What's a kangaroo doing over there?
Well, it was at the zoo, and I guess he hopped over the damn fence.
Oh, yeah, in Philadelphia, it was a lion that killed a couple of people. There were some people that went into the zoo after hours, and they went and start messing with the lions. One of the lions, Big Mike, was able to scale the wall and go over the wall and went after them and killed them guys. Yeah. I mean, it's no joke. I don't be messing with them animals like that. Especially a lion. Mess with a lion. But yeah, they said one of them lions was strong enough to scale the damn wall and went after them and ended up, I think it was like 3 of them that went in there, and the lion killed all of them.
A kangaroo kind of looked like a deer to me. It just hops.
Looking similar, yeah.
Yeah, and they ain't found that damn kangaroo yet.
How long has it been?
It's been 4 years.
Well, damn. But you know what? We live near Jackson, New Jersey. That's where Six Flags was. We know of Six Flags down where you are, but they had like a little safari. Them animals used to escape from the safari all the time. And they said they wouldn't tell the public because they didn't want people to be scared. But they said they got out of that the safari where they had everything all wired and walls up, and they would still get out of there. I don't know.
I say you can't tame you can't tame that stuff.
No, and there are some they had to admit they never were able to catch. Some of them they were able to catch, and they said it was a lot of them they never were able to catch once they got loose. That's why I don't think you should have stuff like that, especially near populations where people live and one of them wild animals get out of there. I don't think they should have stuff like that.
Yeah, we were talking about that kangaroo last week, and I told Brother Stephen, I said, man, that kangaroo probably out here mating with these deers. Shit, hey, they don't tell what that damn kangaroo doing.
Wow. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it.
And then
All
they
right.
got the fish. They got all them fish out here that ain't supposed to have any fresh water because the Asian carp, it done made its way down to our area.
Yeah, we got them up here. Yeah, and they're bad for the ecosystem because they eat up all your fish.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, they will eat the other fish, and so when you go to fish, you you start catching a bunch of carps instead of what you're looking for.
Man, they done took over.
Yeah, yeah, and that's because they mate so fast and they reproduce so fast. It's hard to keep them under control. Because I know, I think it was somewhere up here. It was so many they were talking about poisoning the lake to get rid of them, but then they ruled it out because they said if they did that, they would end up killing all the other fish. But it was just so many, they virtually took over the water.
See,
Yeah,
and then
I don't think. Yeah,
the peacock bass, they all over Florida. They
yeah.
ain't supposed to be here.
I think it was one of my subscribers did a video showing the peacocks, and they were like in the streets. You know, you could see they were on like the street, just walking around. Now we don't have them peacocks. You know what we do have that will attack you? Them wild turkeys. We every now and then we'll get them wild turkeys up here.
Oh, I got a truck driver story for y'all. I got two, but we'll start with this one. Lisa, me, my partner, his road handle, we got road handle. His name was Be Strong. That's what his road handle was. His name was Bert, but we call him Be Strong.
Mm-hmm.
And Lisa, he had this one. We was on I-81, Interstate 81. We had just got out of Virginia, crossing into West Virginia. And Lisa, he had his windows down in his truck.
Uh-huh.
Lisa, I'm behind it, and Lisa, that damn wild ass turkey come out them woods and flew up in his damn truck. Flew inside the truck.
Oh shoot! Oh my god!
When I tell you that turkey tore his ass up.
Yeah,
that wild turkey.
Yeah.
Lisa, but you should have seen that little short rascal front up out that damn truck. And he said, wild child, that's my road handle. Wild child, get him out of there. I said, man, I ain't finna fuck with that wild turkey. I'm looking at him, he got feathers and scratch marks on it. I said, ain't that turkey fuck you up? And so we called the state trooper. And the state trooper got there. He said, yeah, I'll get him out of there. I'm saying he might mace him or something. He went in that truck thinking he was finna manhandle that wild ass turkey. That turkey tore that state trooper ass up too.
Oh shoot!
That thing I know, he pulled that pistol, and he lit that damn turkey up in that damn truck. I said, man, he just shot your goddamn truck.
Yeah. Oh man, that is crazy. Yeah, them things will fight you. We had one on my front porch. I got startled by it. I had went outside and I saw movement on the front porch, and I turned my head. It was a big behind turkey just sitting on my porch. But luckily, when he saw me, it flew away. But that sucker was huge. They get big. Them turkeys are big.
And okay, I was in Pennsylvania, and this is when my name got changed from Wild Child to Goose Hunter. All right, y'all. I'm coming down I-76. That's the Pennsylvania Turnpike coming out of Philadelphia. So I guess out there through the countryside, my little sister was with me. My mom and dad was going on vacation on their honeymoon. So I had to watch my sister. So I said, you got to come on the road with me. We got to go to work. So she's in the back. I'm driving. I see these damn big ass geese just walking across the interstate. I said, surely they see me coming. They were just going and fly the hell away. Lisa, them big ass geese, I hit 3 geese. I hit one in the corner of the windshield, one came through the windshield, it hit the middle, and the other hit the other corner of the windshield. When I tell you, when that geese came in there, I grabbed that geese by his damn neck, and when I slung him out of there, I promise you that geese said athletic.
Wow. Oh man.
That's scared. Man, it busted my whole entire windshield. And I didn't know geese were that heavy. That geese were about 40, 50 pounds a piece.
and they're fighters, Big Mike. And when I used to work at this job, and the geese would be all out front every day. They used to, and I used to hate it because they would have their poop would be all up and down the sidewalk. It was disgusting. So anyway, most of us, they didn't bother. It was this one white guy. Every time he went outside, they would go after him. And it got to the point where every time he went outside, we would all pile up and get in the window because it would be so funny. And they would, one day, one got on top of the building. He walked out the building. That sucker came down and swooped over his head. We were hollering, and he would be like, "What did you do to them?" They didn't go after nobody else, just this one white guy. And I said, maybe it was the way he smelled or something. I don't know. But they did not like him. One day, them goose had him up against the damn brick wall of the building, and he was surrounded by, we were just screaming. They would not leave this guy alone, y'all. Every time he stepped outside, they went after him. Every single time. And he was like, I don't know what I did. I don't know what I said, I don't know. Maybe it was just the way he smelled or something, or maybe the way he looked. It was something that just made them angry. They really turned on him. But the funny part, anybody else could walk by and they wouldn't do nothing. Just this one pink funk. Y'all crazy. It was just this one guy them goose would go after. They didn't do it to nobody else coming in and out of the building.
Lisa, did you hear about that on TikTok? What they were doing to them turkeys up in that butterball plant with them butterball turkeys?
They were graping the turkeys, y'all. Before
that was disgusting.
That makes me not want to ever have turkey again. Yeah. I don't know if y'all heard, but yeah, the workers were graping the turkeys before they slaughtered them. I mean, disgusting. Yeah.
And they had videos on it. Y'all, they got videos on them doing it.
Yeah. It was disgusting. I don't, when I look at a turkey, I ain't feeling that. Okay. I ain't feeling that looking at no damn turkey.
That hurt me to my heart. I said, man, it's somebody right now of our people that celebrate Thanksgiving got a damn turkey full of semen.
Yeah, isn't that disgusting? Yeah, they were doing that. It made the news. They were graping the turkeys before they slaughtered them, and then the company was packaging them and sending them to the supermarket after they graped them. Yeah, bestiality. Yeah, there you go.
And it was all heathens doing it.
Yeah. You know it wasn't brothers. Ain't no brother looking at no turkey going, oh man. Brothers ain't doing that. No, that was not our men. Ain't that something that is disgusting.
That's why I said, you know what? It made me think of Ezekiel chapter 4, where he said we were going to be eating the defiled bread of the Gentile, meaning food. It's defiled. Everything here is defiled.
Ain't it though? That's the truth. That is the truth. Yeah. Well, you know how it is. These people will, anything that can't run from them, that's like they can do whatever they want. They're in that. Yeah. They don't care if it's an animal. They have no concern about that. Yeah, I read that. I was so disgusted by that when I read it. I was like, man, see, I'm never going to look at a turkey the same way. Or if I get like a turkey sandwich, I wonder, well, was this one of them turkeys? No, I don't want it. I don't want
butterball turkeys.
Yeah. Yeah. Of all things. Now, I'm not surprised.
Oh, that was horrible. That was so horrible. Oh, that was horrible.
Mm-hmm. That's right. The animals of the earth is going to get their revenge on these folks too. Yeah, they will. Even they will get their. They'll get it in too.
I'm like, then the wild turkey is brown and all sorts of black or whatever, gray. Some of them gray.
Mm-hmm.
But when you see those turkeys at them slaughterhouse, they all white feather turkeys.
That's because they're raised on turkey farms, Big Mike, and they only raise a certain breed. That's why they look the same.
Well, how
Yeah,
did they
but
get that white all? Why do the turkey got to be all white?
I don't know, Big Mike, but they only breed certain a certain breed of turkey on these turkey farms. They don't
The
do like a
chickens,
bunch of different color ones.
the chickens be all white.
Yes. Yes.
All the hogs are pink, and pigs come in different shades of color, especially black. I don't understand it.
Yeah. 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 That like on these farms, they only have like a certain breed. They don't have all of them where it's a variety of them that they raise and slaughter. No, they only do like maybe one breed. So you'll see the same kind of turkey, the same kind of pig, the same, you know what I mean? Same kind of
Hmm.
chicken, and you don't see a variety where you see brown chickens, black chickens, you know what I mean? Some of them are like an auburn color, gray. You see all those different colors, but whenever they show you these breeding farms, they got them on. They're always all white chickens. I know what you mean. Yeah.
Up next said, hold on. He said, and the turkey brand is Butterball.
Yeah.
You can't make this stuff up.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the truth. Oh man.
Oh, that's too funny. Hey, T, I enjoyed it. I gotta go. I gotta go get reloaded. I done made it over here to get
Yeah, no,
loaded.
no, no. I gotta go too because we've been on here. I've been on here for 3.5 hours, y'all. I was never intending to be on here this long. All right. Thank you so much for coming on the panel, Big Mike. It was good talking to you and seeing you again. All right, y'all. And everybody, enjoy the rest of your day. And those of you that come back for Bible study, I will see you then. Shalom, family.